Something new is shaking from Chef Boyardee, and kids everywhere are getting into it. New Spider-Man pasta.
Whoa! Come on, let's show Mysterio the ropes, kids. Hello! Looks like he'll be hanging around for a while.
Totally webbed out Spider-Man shape smothered in secret sauce. New Spider-Man pasta from Chef Boyardee. So hot, it's practically radioactive. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
Who dares race on my haunted highway? 2 monster trucks. Prepare yourselves. My evil eye is out to destroy you. Your blazing speed won't save you from my rolling eyeball. Take the lead on Suicide Squeeze. Bust him up on Dead Man's Curve. You must beat him and beat me. Escape my evil eye and win. New from Tyco, Haunted Highway, electric racing, battery not included. I've got my eye out for you.
Really cool.
Hey guys, can you turn it down? Thank you. You know, I tried some of those Apple Jacks the other day.
Cool.
They didn't taste like apple.
Mr. B, that's the coolest part of all.
It is it? Why?
Dad, you don't get it, do you?
I guess I don't.
He's old. Kellogg's Applejack cereal is part of this complete breakfast. We eat what we like.
Jumanji. It can make an ordinary man go wild. And a normal kid
Keep your hand.
go ape.
Wow.
It's unstoppable. It's unpredictable. It's the world of Jumanji. Robin Williams. Jumanji. Rated PG. At theaters now.
This Christmas on Chicago's Movie Station, enjoy Charles Dickens' enduring classic in a very special presentation.
My dear, look who it is.
Alistair Sim in his critically acclaimed performance as Ebenezer Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, sir. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Make this Christmas carol a holiday tradition in your home.
God bless you.
Scrooge. Tonight at 10 on WGN Channel 9.
Is that a real kitty? No, she's my playtime kitty. Is that a real puppy? No, he's my playtime puppy.
Now there are more playtime kitties and puppies to love.
Want a bone mat?
They move and sound so real when you tickle their noses.
So soft. I love when you tickle me. Tabby, look what I caught. We love our playtime kitty and our playtime puppies too.
There are more playtime kitties and playtime puppies to choose from, each sold separately.
Oh, but isn't the Munchkin convention? All right, hand them over. You twerps ate my corn pops.
You can't get mad. We're guests.
Oh, I want my corn pops. But instead, these shrimps are devouring every last crunchy pop. Look, it's Barney. Excuse.
Kellogg's Corn Pop cereal is part of this complete breakfast.
I gotta have my pops.
Commemorating the final issue of the original version of Star Wars, you can get a free Making of Star Wars video with 2 proofs from Kellogg's Corn Pops. Star Wars, the original version, one last time.
If we get his magical marshmallow recipe, we can make our own Lucky Charms.
That starts with 1 dash of magic and a dose of taste.
Got it.
Then mix with a double dose of color.
A double dose? Look, it's making his marshmallows brighter.
They're Lucky's brightest marshmallows ever. Found only in Lucky Charms. A magical part of this good breakfast.
Thanks for the bright idea.
Season 3's in our souls.
Yummy fruity pebbles in our bowls. Oh, here comes you know who.
Yabba dabba fruit, delicious stew.
Oh, I'm hungry. Santa, my pebbles! Your pebbles?
'Tis the season to be sharing, Fred.
Happy holidays, pal.
Oh, Fred. Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles cereals, part of this nutritious breakfast.
By the end of this message, you will believe that you can totally reshape your body with one exercise video. And you will be right.
It's a whole new body. The Firm tapes give you a whole new body.
Time Life presents The Firm, the exercise videos that are making firm believers out of people.
My hips have come in, my waist, my arms, my back, my stomach, everything.
The Firm is my anti-gravity device.
I went from 32% body fat to 14% body fat with the Firm.
What makes the Firm different? Aerobic exercise will burn fat, but combine aerobics with weights and you can burn 3 times the fat and sculpt your body into beautiful shape. Only the Firm combines weights and aerobics in every exercise, so you can burn fat and shape at the same time. That means better, more beautiful results faster. In fact, the Firm guarantees visible results in 10 sessions.
They said, give us 10 tries and we'll make a difference. And I gave it 10 tries and it really did. Immediately I started seeing results.
Call now and start with Volume 1 of the Firm for just $4.99 and get the award-winning video 20 Questions About Fitness free. Then try other Firm videos. You can cancel at any time, but with the Firm's guaranteed results, you won't want to.
The Firm will give you quick results and more shape because the muscles are being worked. Other tapes are a waste of money. The only tapes that work on the market today are the Firm tapes.
I had shape and definition in my waist and my butt looks like a 19-year-old after 3 kids. It's like a present they've given me, you know? It's great.
I'm a personal trainer and the Firm tape is what I use for myself at home.
It is one of my most prized possessions. I love the Firm. What would you pay to look like $1 million?
Call now.
To order the Firm and receive your free 20 Questions About Fitness video, call 1-800-810-4646. That's 1-800-810-4646. Or send $4.99 plus $3.49 shipping and handling to the Firm, Department 2, Richmond, Virginia, 23280.
Last time on Pueblo 81009.
Take whatever you want, the cars, the mansion, but not my consumer information catalog.
Your catalog? I sent my name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009. This free listing of helpful government publications is mine, and you want to steal it.
Oh, Brad, I would never do that.
You can't remember a thing. Yes.
Amnesia. Marco, remember using this free catalog to send for these free and low-cost government publications on saving money, getting federal benefits, staying healthy, and the catalog is free.
Free? Information on educating our children?
Send your name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009. Don't forget, like Marco.
Marco? Who's Marco?
Aha! The studio's got this great show. It's Warner Brothers. Yes, but nobody told me its name. Hey, it's Warner Brothers. Tell me the show's name. It's called It's Warner Brothers.
But wait, there's more. The Animaniacs have come back home.
Reporting for work, sir.
To the Kids Network everyone's talking about.
Kids WB. And no grown-ups allowed.
Weekdays at 3 on WGN.
After 25 years in the jungle, Alan Parrish has come home. But he didn't come home alone.
It's a stampede! Don't look back!
It's Robin Williams in the greatest movie adventure you'll ever take. Jumanji, rated PG, at theaters now.
Yakko here. Let's travel back to visit my sibs at the water tower for more Animaniacs. Keep your eyes peeled. Wacko might have a new Gookie. Then off to Acme Labs for Steven Spielberg presents Pinky and the Brain, followed by Freakazoid and Earthworm Jim. Animaniacs!
We have a formal announcement to make. Kids WB will be right back. Sean! Lunch!
Sonic the Hedgehog pasta, new from Franco-American.
Now you can play the sweepstakes where everyone wins. The Sonic Scratch and Scream Stakes.
Cool.
Prizes like Game Gear or your own Sega game station.
Very cool.
Under labels of new Sonic the Hedgehog pasta, everyone wins instantly.
I won.
To play without purchase, write Sonic Scratch and Scream Stakes. P.O. Box 656, Saraville, New Jersey, 08871.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to see everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week so far. Happy hump day. We are going to be going over we're going to be going over some of Molly's stuff, some of MGL's stuff. Apparently there was this Marvon McCray thing, and I remember when it was happening. I looked into it myself, and what was funny was going into it, I gave MGL the benefit of the doubt in my head, and thought, well, maybe she's just trying to help somebody. Maybe she's using her platform to try to bring attention to something that needs attention. Turns out it was getting plenty of its own attention already, and it was just another bandwagon situation for her to jump on and capitalize on and exploit. Clearly, and I saw something earlier. I'm looking for. It's really annoying because I really want to find this short that I saw. And it won't come up on my history, I don't think. Let me see if it did, because it was really funny. Yeah, I found it. Okay. Okay. And I see blank screens in the chat. How you've not been blocked. It amazes me. Like you are an amazing troll. I am in awe of your troll abilities. It's so fun. So let me just go ahead and share this real quick. This is a short one, but I laughed hysterically when I saw this.
Yeah, okay. Dre McCray's way hotter than me. Okay. Yeah, if you want to fuck a dead corpse, the fuck out of here. Anyone that thinks that needs to have their fucking head examined. Yeah, okay. Dre McCray's way hotter than me.
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to fuck a dead corpse. The fuck out of here.
Dude, look at her, bro.
Anyone that thinks that needs to have their fucking head examined.
Let me tell you something, people.
Yeah, okay.
Let me tell you something. That's the fucking truth. Dre McCray is like way hotter. Like they're both, in my opinion. See, this Dre McCray lady, I think she sucks, in the sense that like my whole thing is like, what kind of person takes her husband who's in a coma and uses it for social media content? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was really gross. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought it was gross. But other than that, like I looked into this thing and I just didn't see a crime. I thought there was a crime that had taken place that nothing was being done about, but I didn't see any reason to believe that a crime actually took place. I saw a guy, if I'm being honest, because I realized that this is going to piss some people off. Okay. This Marvon guy seemed like he was in a situation that he didn't really know how to deal with. And he was, he had kids with somebody that he didn't seem, for all intents and purposes, to get along with very well. But I could see why the dude was probably depressed. Definitely a tragic situation, but most of all, just a private family issue. I couldn't find any other reason other than that. I couldn't find any reason to think anything other than that. It was just a private thing. That's why I didn't even bother with it. I just, it was silly to me. I was like, why is this even a thing? This is definitely Drama Channel bullshit. So I didn't even bother with it. Because I thought for a second that it might be something, you know, kind of like the Sophie thing, where a crime clearly there was at least enough evidence to look into a crime taking place where you could just, you know, at least push for a thorough investigation to be conducted, something to that effect. But I didn't see anything. So I just blew it off. And what's really interesting, now, I was watching a little bit of Down the Rabbit Hole News is live, and then and this was after I had already set this live stream up, and I saw that she had done some stuff on it, and I was like, wow, she's really passionate about this, because really I just wanted to go over how Molly was wrong again, and that's mostly what we're going to talk about, but I saw that after I posted this, that Down the Rabbit Hole News had done something, because I guess she saw that I was going to go live about this, and she sent me a message. She sent me on Twitter a copy of the initial or not the initial report, but the report that basically clears Dre of any criminal wrongdoing. And speak of the devil, I did shoot Down the Rabbit Hole News an invite, and so here she is. What's up? You're muted.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you now. Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. So, and I have a couple minutes, you know, because I got these crazy ass children. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure, because I know, Claire, you're someone here on YouTube that really talks about BS in terms of like the crime community and stuff like that. So I said, you know, these are people that I know are not going to go around doxing people and sharing, you know, personal information and stuff like that. But
right.
Yeah. So thank you for looking at the report, and thank you for providing any kind of commentary that you can provide to the situation.
Well, yeah, I while you're up here, give us a quick and thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Give us a quick little rundown of what your take of all this is and why you're so passionate about it.
Right. So I will tell you, I'm kind of like, so I heard about this story in the summer, similar to you and probably a lot of other creators. This story specifically was my introduction to, I guess, the YouTube crime community, because I was doing other stuff and then this at the same time. So it just, I don't know. I just didn't know of a Molly Golightly until this story came about. And then the awareness that she allegedly brought in. I was sucked in initially. I said, great. You had a situation in which what looked to be like a woman, Dre McCray, was intentionally trying to harm her husband. And all of this was playing out on social media, on Facebook specifically. My understanding is that some of this comes from the Facebook. There was a huge, because her following, she has 1.1 million followers on Facebook. And there is exposing Dre McCray, yeah. And so she comes from like makeup and self-care, and like the family, and all her family was on social media. Her husband, her children, her dogs, everyone. So this
everybody was living that social media family vlogging type lifestyle in the family. Everybody was participating in this.
Right. And you would think, honestly, Claire, like I think a lot of the family bloggers kind of get used to the scrutiny, but when some of this stuff plays out, and so the other part of this too is that she's a huge 1.1 million, you know, social media influencer. She also is part of a jewelry business by the name of Paparazzi. So she's kind of like a consultant for that. So she was competing with people, a title.
Right.
So some of those people that she was in competition with also joined an exposing group to expose her under an anonymous account. Various.
Huh.
So then this happened with her husband. She did not announce it until I think 2 weeks after, he did what he did. And then after that, it became kind of like the Facebook was contacting YouTubers to try, and they were looking for a YouTuber that would take on the story. The initial stories, the story started with Katie Joy and Molly Golightly, and they were looking for other creators. I saw Molly on Sherelle's World's panel, bigger platforms, right?
Yeah, that's what I remember. Sorry to interrupt you, but
You're fine.
I don't want to lose this thought. But yeah, that's what I remember that totally turning into was this is classic MGL, because this turns into going from, okay, I'm trying to help uh, a family. I'm trying to help this man who's in a coma, who can't speak for himself, and his mom doesn't have a voice, and blah 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 blah. So I held my ear to the grindstone for a second,
Yes.
and then I saw that it created. I saw the whole without a crystal ball involving herself, the Katie Joy thing.
Yeah.
And then it just became a feud between Katie Joy and her. And then I was like, okay, well, this is just gross. This has, and all I could think of is just like this poor dude is in a coma and he's got no say over the fact that he is the subject of, like,
What's
he's
going on?
clearly, he's clearly being exploited by everyone. And the way I saw it, including his wife. But he was absolutely being exploited by everybody, and he couldn't do anything about it. And I thought it was really sad, honestly.
Yeah, and a lot of people, and I don't know, right? Because I can't speak for Dre. A lot of us felt some type of way, especially there was a video where she was like licking him or something, and a lot of people were turned off by that. I remember I said something. I'm like, my
That
God,
shit
is she
was
doing
weird, dude.
brujeria? Like, I was just like, I don't know
It
what
was
to make
weird.
of it. It is, but that is what was going on. I still don't think that everything that happened to her is deserving, period. So then what happened after that? Yes, there's a huge
Right. I want to
fallout.
be clear about that. Just
Yes.
because if MGL or BHB were being accused of a crime,
Yep.
okay, any of the people, Dolly, any of the people who I go over on this channel, if any of them were being accused of a crime and I saw absolutely no evidence that would lead me to believe that they were even, engaging in this or even possibly capable of it, I would be defending them. I'm not out to trash somebody for something that they are not. I'm not out to destroy people. You know what I mean? And one of the things that we do here is we defend victims, and not just victims of crimes, but the surrounding people who are affected by this crime, who are becoming victimized by personalities on social media, such as MGL, such as Dolly Vision, such as Bullhorn Betty, all of these people. This is what we try to do, is try to control the misinformation so that more people aren't victimized.
So
and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I was just going to say that as far as she's concerned, again, I was looking into it. I did not see anything that indicated that she was committing a crime. Now, was she doing things that I thought were kind of gross and weird? Absolutely, but nothing to go to jail over.
Nothing. Nothing to go to jail over. And let me be very clear too. So what they did is they went into this woman's Facebook page where she had her 1 million followers, and she's always been very open and stuff like that. And basically grabbed a bunch of clips and clipped them. So anytime that a kiddo said, "I'm hungry, mom," they clipped that one. Anytime there was an argument between her and Marvon and they were able to capture it, they clipped that one. Anytime Dre was being weird with a knife, which, by the way, her group is Slay with Dre. And when I took the time to actually go into a group, go into maybe a year and a half of her postings, I realized that her signature is the kitchen knife, because she's cooking vegan meals with her husband, and there's like an emoji of a knife, and the kids have social media time. And so this was a really like a big family thing. They prayed during live, they ate, and they cooked. And so what these people did is that they cut all of that, chopped it up, and those 11 clips were given to the police. And in those 11 clips, the police said, "There's nothing criminal here. There's nothing."
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I'm not going to show it because again, there's a lot that still needs to be redacted from it. There's obviously names, addresses, people who requested the report, things of that nature that we just don't want to go over. I'm going to go over some of the narrative here. Well, actually, I just kind of want to. Do you know what page I would find what you were just talking about?
The
As far as
specific one, yeah. And I have it here. Hold up. And I was like, I had to reorganize it because it's 34 pages, which, by the way, Molly is saying is fake, right? Keep that in mind. This is a fake that we concocted it here online. Yeah, I called CPS, APS.
It's so funny that she would reach that, she would reach that far, to defend her bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, how do you expect us to believe that somebody would just take the time to type up a false police report, forge a false police report, we're making up sources and we're taking people's addresses and names and we're splatting it on there just for what? To hurt you?
And
really?
why talk about it now? It's page 15, by the way. It's page 15.
Okay.
And yeah, on the document, if you can see it.
So it says here, I looked inside the shed, which seemed to be used for storage.
Hold up. Page 15. That's not page 15 that you're reading.
That's what it says here.
I have
page 15 of 35.
And this is my printed pages, so I'm not really sure if I'm looking at printed pages, so we could be having our numbers wrong. But I can read you that part if you want me to.
Sure.
It says on 8/8/2022, I received 11 emails from Lieutenant Connolly. The videos contain links to videos from YouTube and Facebook. The videos were heavily edited. I viewed all these videos and found nothing criminal pertaining to this case. The following are the links to the videos I watched. And then there was other officers that were receiving links, and it would say in there from social media, these are links. And so it was like, in the social media people, okay, these followers were calling, and he's documenting the narratives in that report about who said what and what was going on. I mean, and they said a lot of things based off of what was seen on social media.
And I'm seeing 11 links. So I mean, and these links, like, I could click on them right now and go over them. Like, this isn't like a copy of something. I can click on these links, absolutely, and go over those videos one by one if I wanted to.
Yes.
Which I might, just not right this second, but
to add, Glare, and because I have to go in a little bit, just to add a little bit more context and to give you another summary to this too, is that Molly, Justin, the Orange Man, the Lion Lady got together, as well as the other one that, and I don't know how far we saw her involvement, but I mean, anyways, so the family, the biological family of Marvin, reached out. That's what they say. Reached out to Molly. They did a fundraiser to get an attorney for travel expenses. I mean, I know that in the month. What was that?
I remember that there was a GoFundMe.
There was I think it's still up there. There was a GoFundMe. They raised, I think, I don't know how much they raised on the GoFundMe, and it's the unknown amount on the Cash App because people were keeping track and suddenly they're not keeping track. Once Katie Joy decided to request a refund, stepped away from this situation, that's when kind of shit hits the fan for everybody. And they start asking questions. Initially, it was 2 attorneys. It went from 2 attorneys to 1 attorney. So there was a lot of we don't know if there was or wasn't. They showed a complaint at one point in a live, but they only showed a little bit of it. I want you to keep in mind that in this police report, not one attorney, there's not even an attorney that's mentioned here. And the phone calls, because they're wanting justice for Marvin. So I'm thinking in my mind, what better way to get justice when you have the number of a detective or an officer, right? I only saw 2 calls from Marvon Sr. and 1 call from Miss Letitia, and no more calls after that or reports concerns of their son's safety. Okay. And I don't want to get in the mix of what that relationship was like. All I know is that based on past videos, Marvon wasn't very close to his biological family. That caused tension. And out of respect, I just, I don't got like getting in between that, but it's a mystery as to what happened. It's a mystery. Do we have an attorney or not? People want to know.
Right. I mean, so where did the money go?
She made $18,000 in AdSense. Molly did. I know that for August or July on Marvon McCray.
Wow. Tragedy pimping is a racket. Let me tell you.
She bought her Dolce and Gabbana. I know that. So I know.
So I mean, yeah, you basically, this is where all your money's going, but never actually show receipts, and then decide to move on to the next thing, and then people have forgotten all about it, and then it's the next thing to exploit money, the next thing to suck money out of your subscribers for, because you're already moved on and you're not thinking about, because nobody's going to sit there and go, well, hey, wait a minute, MGL, what happened to the money for Marvon? What happened with that? What happened to Miss Letitia getting an attorney, and what became of that? And there was talk about Letitia, from what I understand, there was talk about her having a record for fraud. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay. And let me tell you something. I'm not for the doxing. Katie Joy put these people's records up there basically to make a point that this is a fraud, this is a scam, and she literally put I think it was Marvon Jackson's, Marvon's dad's record up on Facebook, blasted it up. In addition to other people, there was also said that the people that were in the fundraising were also had been charged with scamming, pretending to be attorneys. So this thing goes deep.
Right.
Deep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, I mean, with all the lying going on, how does MGL not expect us to believe that she's accountable to some degree? You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I mean, if I was a victim in this situation, right? If I had raised all this money and then I was defrauded by somebody else, that I was supposedly helping raise money and using my platform to bring awareness to an issue, and then this comes out, I'm going to be like, I made a mistake, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I would show receipts that the money that was sent went straight to Letitia to get her an attorney.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd be like, well, you need to talk to Letitia. And you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you were defrauded out of money, you need to contact her and find out what her attorney says.
Right. And keep in mind too, before I go, because I got baby bunny over here, but just keep in mind another thing too. This report had been out this November, December, the police report. Suddenly, Nonsense, the channel who's been working diligently to expose some of this stuff, specifically on the Dre McCray and all that other stuff, she goes live and she reads the report. We share it and we talk about it, right? Molly goes live real quick to show the body cam.
Right. And supposedly she has this body cam. And why isn't that public record? Because I tried to get Cherry to find it and she couldn't find it. So I don't know. So why I mean, isn't body cam footage public record?
I thought
and
so.
How does she have it?
Well, and why was she sitting on it for so long?
And why was she? That's the main question. Why was she sitting on it the entire time? If it's such proof and you're so sure, right? Yeah. If you're so sure and you're so, confident that there was foul play involved in his suicide attempt, why not show the body cam footage if you had it all this time.
Absolutely.
To and analyze it, go over
Absolutely.
it. I mean, and its content. Why not?
Yep. I have to go because I got baby bunny over there, but I appreciate you for letting me up. If you have any questions, if you guys have any questions, just hit me up. But I'll be in the
Right
chat,
on.
okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye, guys.
Guys, make sure to sub up to Down the Rabbit Hole News. Yeah, this is quite the tragedy pimping clusterfuck, is it not? So let's go over this police report real quick. I'm going to go ahead and read. And unfortunately, I cannot see the chat right now while I'm reading this. Just a quick disclaimer there. At the time of this incident, it says narrative. At the time of this incident, I had not been issued a BWC and do not have a video of this incident to review. I did, however, review OFC, Reed, and OFC Iguana's BWC videos to refresh my memory to complete this supplement. Right, because, you know, we just some random YouTuber just typed all these legal technical terms and terminology for the sake of making MGL look like a fool, right? So it says here on 5/23/2022 at 8:28 a.m. The Yuma Police Department dispatch received a call for a service relating to an attempted suicide at their address in Yuma, Arizona. I acknowledged the call at 8:29 and was marked as dispatched to the call at 8:32. I was marked on the scene at 8:38. These times are according to the timestamps by Yuma Police Department dispatch. The call notes supplied by YPD dispatch show on the dispatch tab on my in-vehicle computer showed the following. A female found her husband hanging, and the reporting party has cut the husband down. The male subject, possibly Marvon McCray, per previous calls. CPR was in progress, and children were inside. The male subject was in the shed in the backyard. The RP's dogs may try to bite, the RP being the reporting party, which would be Drea. The RP's dogs may try to bite. The RP was stopping CPR to put the dogs away. RP's child coming home or coming outside saying father told him not to come outside. RP telling the child to go back in the house. The RP's husband name is Marvon McCray. When I arrived on the scene, I saw that the Yuma Fire Department personnel and OFC, I said iguana. That's not what that word is. I don't even know what that is. Had already arrived on the scene. I guess that's how you pronounce this other officer who showed up to the scene. And I don't want to mispronounce his name, so I'm not going to keep doing it. He was talking to a female, I believe to be the wife, because I knew from the call from service information a female was on scene and the male who hung himself was married. He was talking to her in the area of the front door. The home was constructed as a manufactured home with the front door facing north. The front door was located towards the west end of the home. The front of the home had a concrete sidewalk running east to west. It connected the driveway to the east side yard gate. The front yard consisted of a concrete driveway on the west side and sand on the east side. There were two black pickup trucks parked in the driveway. One was on the west side of the driveway, one facing north, and the truck parked on the east side was facing south. Behind the pickup truck on the west side of the driveway was a bumper pull camper, hitch side to the north, with the awning extended. There was a black 4-door sedan parking on the east side of the driveway facing north behind the truck in the sand area of the front yard. I saw a picnic table, 3 lawn patio chairs, and 1 small patio table. Officer Reed was standing at the side yard gate on the east side of the home watching YFD personnel. The gate was made of wood planks and was connected to the wood plank fence that ran along the property. I approached Officer Reed and stood with her. I saw that the Yuma Fire Department personnel was performing CPR on what I believed to be the male. I could not see very much due to the small confined area and the number of YFD personnel tending to the male. After a short time, I started moving a bunch of items that would hinder the removal of the male. These items were covering the sidewalk, which would lead from the shed area to the front sidewalk. The items I moved were approximately 14 orange-colored traffic cones, a section of styrofoam board, a 2-bulb shop light with no bulbs installed, 1 fluorescent light bulb, which appeared to belong in the shop light, 1 flat piece of cardboard box, and I bent over a section of chicken wire. Okay, now I got to tell you guys, I kind of wish that I could show you. I mean, I guess I could show you this real quick. So just to give you an idea, this part of the report I can actually show you. And just to give you an idea, I'm only right. I don't know if you could see my cursor, but this is where I'm at. And this is just the officer reporting in detail what he saw on scene as far as inanimate objects. So this is a very, very, very detailed police report. This was not conducted by some YouTuber or YouTube subscriber with nothing better to do with their time but to write an extremely detailed false report, okay, in order to scrutinize Molly Golightly for some reason. So to to sit here and claim that this was made up and this was just some way to troll her is absolutely asinine. It's completely ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all. There's just no way that that's the case. From what I'm looking at, we've read police reports, and I've read much lazier police reports written by good police officers, and thorough reports, just not nearly as thorough as this. So, yeah, I don't want to hear that. I just wanted to be clear and give you guys an idea that that entire page that I showed, I was almost at the top of that page, and that entire page that I showed was details of what that officer was able to see. Like if I'm ever hurt, like that's the dude I want writing my report. If there's ever any suspicion of foul play, yeah, I want that dude writing my report. Just saying. I removed these items from the sidewalk area and placed them on a pile of other items on the east side of the sidewalk. These items were sitting in front of a small wooden shed just north of the metal shed YPD personnel was in front of. The small wooden shed did not have any doors on it. The items I moved did not appear to have any involvement in the attempted suicide. At one point, I noticed YFD had placed the automated chest compression machine on the male, and it appeared to be working properly. I stayed outside the fenced area to the front of the home until after YFD removed the male. And see, I love this because this also indicates how genuine this is, because this is a police officer who knows his place. He's saying he didn't want to be too close. There was obviously some vision that was obstructed because the number of fire department personnel that were trying to save Marvon's life at that moment. They were trying to revive him. And him, knowing his place as a police officer, let them do their job, stepped away, and thought ahead and thought they're going to need to get him out of here as quickly as possible to transport him to the nearest hospital. So let me clear things out of the path so they can do that, which I thought, reading this, I'm like, this is a good cop. So no, this is not made up by some random YouTuber. This is nobody has this kind of imagination. They should be a published novelist if and they should win a Pulitzer for going into these kind of details, because I feel like I'm this cop looking at the scene. Crazy. The items I moved did not appear to have any involvement in the attempted suicide. At one point, I noticed YFD had placed the automatic chest compression machine on the male, and it appeared to be working properly. I stayed outside the fenced area to the front of the home until after YFD removed the male. I did not see much of the male as they carried him past me and placed him on the gurney he was covered by. Placed him on the gurney. Sorry, this is small. He was covered by the automatic compression machine and the tarp-like material used to carry him. I did not move in closer to get a better view because he was surrounded by YFD personnel who were situating him for transport. I did not want to get in their way. After YFD started moving the male to the ambulance, I walked to the metal shed. This shed looked to be several years old and was constructed in sheet metal. It appeared to be approximately 8 feet by 10 in size. I believed the roof's peak was 6 to 7 feet high. When I looked into the metal shed and saw a piece of brown rope inside it in the center of the floor area, the rope appeared to be made of natural fibers and maybe a half-inch thick. I did not examine the rope. The construction of the center beam for the roof of the shed was of metal, I believe aluminum, and appeared to be strong enough to support a person's weight. After leaving the shed area, I walked up to where Officer, I can't pronounce his name, was talking to the female. I stood there listening to their conversation to gain a better understanding of the incident. The female was talking about her husband's past mental health issues, some medical issues, and marital issues. For details of the conversation, see Officer, his body-worn camera video, which Molly had and was sitting on for God knows how long. While standing there, Officer Reed approached us and told us YFD was transporting because they were able to detect a heartbeat on the male. I did tell Officer Reed that I saw a piece of rope in the shed. After listening to the female explain the past mental health issues of the male and the marriage problems between them, I believe this time the male did attempt to commit suicide by strangulation inside of the metal shed. I did not talk to the wife, YFD personnel, or enter the home. I cleared the scene at 09:09 hours. And I'm just trying to see. Okay, now this is another part. Digital media. I guess this is just going over what kind of evidence they're going through and stating anything that they use to examine the overall situation. So it says here, digital media, body-worn camera footage has been captured and submitted to the Yuma Police Department. Digital evidence management systems. Human memory and perception have limitations, and video evidence may depict events differently than the report writer perceived during the event or recalled at the time of writing this report. The report writer and review the video in order in part before writing this report. On 5/23/2022 at about 8:28 hours, I responded to the address in question regarding an attempted suicide. YFPD personnel was already on scene and with the patient upon my arrival. Officer Iguina, I don't know how you say it, was also on scene and speaking with the reporting party on Andrea McCray. A gate and a walkway led to the shed on the east side of the home. Several random items like traffic cones, what looked like PVC pipe, and a board of some kind. Sorry. Yeah, I have the chat pulled up on my phone, and once in a while it will light up. So if I miss a super chat, I apologize. But thank you for this super chat, Scarlet Summer, just for being you and exposing the vultures and a great sense of humor. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. So yeah, but I may not catch everyone because I'm reading my screen. So if I miss it, I do apologize. Several random items like traffic cones, what looked like PVC pipe, and a board of some kind were on the walkway, and YFD personnel were stepping on and over them. YFD personnel was in front of a small, what appeared to be a sturdy metal shed. YFD was performing life-saving measures on an unconscious male subject outside the shed. The unconscious male was later identified to me as Marvon McCray. Sergeant Egan arrived at my location and began moving some of the items mentioned above out of the way from the walkway. So I guess that was Sergeant Egan, we were reading his account earlier. There was also an overgrown bush to the south of the metal shed. The work area was cramped with medical personnel, and I stood near the gate out of the way. YFD personnel placed Marvon McCray on a gurney, and I saw a scrape on his left arm. The scrape appeared fresh, but I did not see it very well as Marvon McCray was still being attended to. I did not look for any other injuries so as not to interfere with YFD while they continued life-saving measures. YFD prepared to move Marvon onto a gurney. Since the workspace was minimal, the gurney was left outside the workspace in the front yard. YFD placed Marvon on a foldable stretcher, and they carried him to the gurney. Before YFD carried him out, I walked over to the officer, to Officer I and and Andrea McCray, and informed them that they would be moving him out and onto the gurney. I told Andrea McCray to be prepared, as many are not used to seeing loved ones in such conditions. Andrea appeared sad and worried about Marvon McCray. I also obtained Marvon McCray's date of birth and full name. I walked with YFD to the ambulance, and I was informed by YFD personnel they were able to obtain a pulse. I walked to Officer I, where I was with Andrea McCray, and told Officer I that that YFD was able, or I told Officer I that that YFD was able to obtain a pulse. When I told Officer I about Marvon McCray having a pulse, Andrea McCray heard, and her eyes got really big, and she stood up, reached out to me, grabbing my hands. She was shaking, and her hands felt cold to the touch. YFD transported Marvon to the hospital. Once YFD vacated the scene, I walked back to the shed, and a YFD personnel was there picking up the trash they had left. I spoke with YFD personnel and asked who was on scene first. YFD personnel told me they believed Officer I was on the scene first. I asked YFD personnel if Marvon was already down when they arrived. YFD personnel told me Marvon was already down and pointed inside the shed. YFD personnel stated their call notes also stated either the homeowner or officer cut Marvon McCray down. So this just basically goes on to say more stuff about it's just another officer's perspective. I will read this last paragraph though. I walked back to Officer I's location with Andrea as she is talking to him about Marvon's behavior. I asked Andrea if her children were okay. I asked because the call notes stated there were children in the home. Andrea said her children do not know what happened. Andrea stated she called her daughter for help, but did not want her to see. So she told her to go back inside. Andrea McCray said she was freaking out. Andrea said she needed to get him, but didn't know how, and she was scared. Andrea McCray stated the children probably heard her screaming, but did not see any of it. Since the children were not witnesses to the incident, I did not speak to the children. I offered Amberly's place as a resource, and Officer I continued with his investigation. I asked Officer I if he needed any more assistance. Officer I said no. I cleared the scene without any further involvement and went and grabbed some coffee and donuts. I just added that last part. So then this is the next page where Down the Rabbit Hole News was discussing with us and saying that there were all these links, which there are all these links I can show you. And these are links that I can actually click on, as you can see. So these are all just links that I can absolutely click on if I wanted to. And so I'll read what she wrote again. It says, on 8/2022, I received 11 emails from Lieutenant Conley. The videos contained links to videos from YouTube and Facebook. The videos were all heavily edited. I viewed all the videos and found nothing criminal pertaining to this case. The following are the links to the videos I watched. So yeah, I mean, it clearly says that there's nothing criminal here. So I just find it very interesting. Now what I'm going to do is, the only body cam footage that I know of is MGL's live. So we get to review her while we review that body cam footage. So buckle up, folks. We're going to be here for a minute.
One of the things that got our attention is the way that she treated her husband, Marvin. With Marvin being a former Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, he started to lose a massive amount of weight. And he definitely didn't look the same. And
I remember discussing this
with all
back then, because I reviewed some of this stuff. And I remember discussing this back then, and I remember thinking that, I mean, this guy, the whole narrative that's being spun here is that this guy had no balls. He had no say over what he was putting in his body. I mean, how does a Marine, and just to point out, just to be petty, she's like, former Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. Dude, okay, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she was correcting herself. But a Marine is one of the things that is instilled into a Marine is discipline. And another thing is self-respect and resilience. And these things, I just don't see a Marine having that kind of, if he's having these kind of problems, you know, and I don't see him not being aware that the cause of it is all of the kratom or whatever the fuck she was supposedly feeding him, you know, and not having any say over this stuff. So again, I'm thinking, I don't understand where the criminal act is. I don't understand how this guy's not accountable for his own actions. You know, as tragic as it is, and I could understand someone even being in a shitty marriage, you know, but if you're in a shitty marriage, you know, you don't get to blame the person for attempting suicide. Now, I'm not saying that that person is weak and he's an asshole because, you know, oh my God, he's got kids. How dare he attempt suicide? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying though is, nobody else is accountable either. You know what I mean? You don't get to blame his wife for his depression and his attempted suicide. I mean, now but there was also, besides trying to blame him for that, there was never any exact blame. There was never any exact theory. It was either she drove him to try to kill himself or she staged it to where it looked like a suicide and she tried to kill him. And this was the narrative that just kept going on and on and on and on. And yeah, he was on meds, but we don't know what for. Thank you, Chasing Truth. But I mean, and I know what kratom is more or less. I know they sell it at like the CBD store down the street. You know, I don't know what it does. I have no interest in it. But it's just funny to me that there was never any solid. This is just classic MGL who just sits up here and runs her mouth and talks about how something is so bad and we got to do something about it. But she never actually says what.
All intents and purposes, maybe Dre thought that she was doing something good. Maybe her ego kept it going.
See, you see what she's doing here? Like before law enforcement clears her of any wrongdoing, clears her of any criminal behavior involving this case, before all of that comes out in the open, she's the worst person in the world. She's a criminal. She belongs in prison, blah, 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 blah. You know, terrible, terrible, terrible person. Now it's the backpedaling. Now it's the walking back and saying, well, maybe her intentions were good. Maybe just, and then still trying to save face for everything she said before. Maybe her ego just influenced her behavior to be too proud to admit any wrongdoing or blah, blah, blah.
It was her intent. We don't really know 100% what happened in that house.
But until now, you did. Until now, you were so fucking sure.
Dre has the power of the camera. Right?
So do you.
Because of this new lifestyle, things started to change. And it was Marvin, because of the kratom, because of this diet lifestyle change, which nothing looked appetizing at all. Nothing that she ever cooked looked like it was edible to any person here.
So her cooking was bad. So wait a second. That's where we're reaching now. Let me get this straight, MGL. So now, yeah, good point. And what's really funny about that, is like a vegan can make something that looks absolutely heinous. But I'm telling you right now, vegans cook the tastiest shit in the world, dude. It's so good. If you ever get the chance to go eat at a vegan's house, bro, go. I'm telling you. Now you'll look at it and you'll be like, what am I about to put in my face? Right? But once you put it in your face, you know what I mean? Once you put it in your face, you're going to be like, okay, because there's this psychological need to make up for the meat that you're missing, and the animal products that taste so good, that have all this natural fat, blah, 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 blah. And it makes everything taste good. Like, let's be honest, the tastiest part of a ribeye is the fat. We don't always eat it, but the tastiest part, that's what soaks up all the flavor, is definitely the fat of a steak. So without all of this stuff, you're looking at something just thrown together, just thrown together. And once you eat it, it's delicious. It just tastes so good. They just know how to balance flavor. I lived with PETA people for a brief period of time, and I ate some of the best tasting food I ever ate in my life. Definitely not appetizing, but,
But she did lose weight.
Or appetizing to look at, I should say.
At what cost? Damn. Marvon started to get seizures, and she would record them. Dre McCray would leave her house to go to Walmart and get limes, and she would leave her kids in a house while her children watched.
So this is all just
2 girls.
This is all just some attempt to justify all of the shit she put this lady through. Now, I admit, do I think it's tacky as fuck to use your spouse being in a coma as content? Absolutely. Not disputing that at all. But I mean, again, like, that's something that when I looked at it, I was like, all right, well, I'm just not even going to fucking touch this shit with a 10-foot pole. This is just personal shit. I think it sucks what she's doing, but I'm not going to go after her. You know what I mean? That's stupid.
Girls, preteens, and little Raza watching him have seizures, multiple seizures. Sometimes she would get it on tape. Sometimes she wouldn't. While this man was
now I don't know a lot about epilepsy. I'm very interested in learning more for personal reasons, but I don't know a whole lot about epilepsy. But the way I understand it is there's not even anything that you can really do about it except let it pass. I hear mixed things. I remember there was a time where you were supposed to put a wooden spoon in somebody's mouth so they don't swallow their tongue. I've heard that is a farce. I've heard that is just not true anymore. That's obsolete. Nobody does that. But apparently you're just supposed to just let it pass. So here she is just criticizing. Now, I would understand if the kids are watching it, you don't want your kids to see that. Now, I would assume that once they get to a certain age, you want them to be aware of it. And then if they happen to be alone with the person who is having a seizure, well, then they're old enough, if they're old enough, to be able to call for help and do what needs to be done. But other than that, I would assume that if they're small children, you just focus on keeping them out of the room. But I don't know if what she's saying here is true regarding having the kids watch their father go into epileptic seizures. I don't know if that's true or not.
Seizing in the head, brain. She, on camera, would say, "Hey, baby."
Thank you so much, Adam's Lost House Cat. I'm digging your channel and your chat more and more each day. I'm here for it. Right on. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Take some of this. Take some of this. It's Ativan. She would go to the border of Mexico, cross the border. She would act like she was totally scared and bring back.
Yeah, see, I don't see really anything wrong with that.
In America, you simply cannot just get them that easy. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And she would freely give them to her husband. For the rest of us, we've had a problem with that. God forbid. We also had a problem with the way that she spoke of.
I love that she's justifying everything. Okay, no, MGL. It's not that anybody had a problem with those things, that you had a problem with those things. It's that you falsely accused this woman of attempting to murder her husband. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I remember you doing that. I remember you basically single-handedly making Katie Joy look like she was a productive member of YouTube, which is a hell of an amazing thing to achieve. That's next to impossible. And you managed to do that because you spun a bullshit narrative with absolutely no proof and with absolutely no reason to even believe it necessarily. So it blows my mind that, I mean, and you're doing the most typical and predictable thing is to sit up here and make excuses for what you did. Yes. Okay, we know that her behavior was kind of shitty, but it doesn't mean that she is an attempted murderer of her own children's father. It makes no sense. Like, just because you don't agree, and this is just typical what you do. You look at somebody's lifestyle, you think that you're better than them, you know, and really the thing is you don't get to really do that. Because MGL, you're always up here and you're talking about people's parenting and how you're this, you know, how dare this person, and you accuse these people of these horrible, disgusting things, and you do it based on, look at these people and the way they live. This is always what you tend to say. Look at these people, these horrible people, and the way they live, and they're filthy and blah blah blah. But we've seen you cracked out on pills. We've seen you sit here and stream for hours and hours and hours, ignoring everybody in your family, leaving a live stream going on while you go to the bathroom and drop a deuce, come back, stuff your face. You know what I mean? And meanwhile, you're judging people on how they live their lives simply because they don't have the income, not that you have. They don't have the income that your husband provides you with. Because make no mistake, there's no way that you're making the kind of money that you get to shit all over people for from YouTube. It just doesn't happen. So whatever the fuck, you know, arrangement you got going on with your husband, you know, I don't find it anything other than humorous, honestly. I have my own theories about it, but just anything is funny to me. But I don't sit there and go, oh my God, you know what? She's a murderer. Like, here we are, and this is what's really, really ironic too. And I don't talk about MGL all that much, but man, you know, I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that here you are trying to accuse people of being capable of murder and not caring about their loved ones. But how many times have we seen Princess laid up in a hospital bed and you're filming him for content? Meanwhile, basically trying to justify throwing him out of your life because after you've enabled him, you've sat there and you've fed this guy drinks after the doctor has said, hey, this guy can't drink anymore. And if anybody in his life loves him, you need to make sure that he doesn't drink. And then 2 days after he's laid up in a hospital bed, you guys are out partying and streaming it and doing shot after shot after shot. And then you have the nerve to criticize the guy and go, I'm sick of his drinking. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see the hypocrisy in that. And you've even been caught on video on your own live streams, content that you put out, basically saying that you don't give a shit what happens to Princess. You don't care anymore. Fuck them. And this is somebody who you claim has raised your son. And this is the kind of content that I don't even like fucking talking about. I don't like talking about people's families and shit. The bottom line, though, is it's open game because you sit there and stream all fucking day long and let the whole world in on your fucking family life and your home life. So it's fair game. So it's very easy for us to call you a hypocrite when you are the one who puts your personal shit out there as content, because it once it's out there, it is up for criticism. And it makes it very easy for us to go, well, wait a minute, why the fuck is she talking about how somebody else is living when she is one of the worst people at the same thing that she's talking about? That's horrible. So, I mean, how do you, I don't understand your rationale for your behavior here. It doesn't make sense.
Of Marvan's family.
Because the way that you talk about Princess based on your logic, okay? Based on your logic and based on your rationale, the way that you talk about Princess, it would be fair for anybody who thinks the exact same way as you do to say, oh shit, the next time Princess is laid up in a hospital, Molly must have done something to him. Fair or not fair? I mean, let's be honest here. But meanwhile, channels like me, who are fair, no matter how I feel about you, no matter what my opinions are of you, I'm still going to be there and I'm going to go, hey, wait a minute, you don't have any evidence to dictate that. Stop it. And that's what's going to end up happening. One of these days, something fucked up is going to happen in your house. And then the whole fucking YouTube universe is going to turn on you and say you did something. And guess who's going to be there to defend you when there's no evidence? Muddy H2O, thank you so much for some heating oil. Appreciate it. I don't know what that means, but thank you. But yeah, you know, and you call everyone haters and blah, blah, blah. No, what we are advocates for the truth. Just the truth. And you don't have any right to sit up here and accuse people of horrible things like murder when there's no indication that anything happened to Summer. We don't know what happened to Summer, but there you are screaming next to somebody with a bullhorn. And just as you get them fired from their job, you creep up on her car. You're on video. It's put out there. You creeping up next to her car, which you denied, but we have the video of it and we've gone over it, where you're like, I'm sorry that that your baby's dead. And I'm sorry that you have no soul. And you say this to a woman with a missing child when there's absolutely no evidence to dictate that she did anything wrong. None. There's just people with no credibility's accounts. That's it. And so you expect us to take this, and I still gave you the benefit of the doubt. And I looked into it and I was just like, and this was back then. And I looked into it and I was just like, I don't see a crime here. I just simply don't fucking see a crime here. It makes no sense.
A huge red flag. And actually, the only flags that ever actually made any real bang with this story, it was because of what she did. When the father found out, Mr. Marvon Sr. drove across the country with his wife, Miss Wynette, to go see, and Miss Sassy, can't forget Miss Sassy. They drove cross country and they showed up exhausted. And what happened? Dre McCray was all decked out in her crazy wig, decked out in a full face of makeup like she was going to a nightclub, just like this. No. They cannot stay here. No. No, I want security. No. Okay.
So what?
It was because of that video that started everything. That's when the Dre McCray following was just like, what? You're going to deny the father? And you can hear the father like wanting to break down in tears. And then you could almost hear Miss Wynette thinking, oh, those are fighting words, but she's not going to do that in a VA hospital. So then the VA veteran, it's a veterans hospital.
Thank you.
Oversteps, or takes over that judgment call and tells Dre McCray, sit your ass down. That's his father.
Not a veterinary hospital, just so you know. It's not an animal hospital, folks. In case you couldn't put that together, him being a Marine and all, or an ex-Marine, according to her.
stepmother, they're going in there and they're going to see her. She's just like, okay, oh, really? Really? So she decides to move her husband out of that hospital into a private hospital. So then the biological mother, Miss Letitia Bias, good old Letitia, poor Letitia Bias, who probably is just as a victim as Marvin, okay? I'm calling them victims because I'm calling them like IMC. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah?
Okay.
You buying that?
But Marvin.
I'm glad you're buying that. Clear of any wrongdoing. I'm
Okay, before we get into that, I just want to be clear, because this is what we do. We sweep up behind these idiots. These little subtle things, like calling him a victim. He's not a victim of anything. Apparently, he's not a victim of anything. So you can't you don't get to call him that. I mean, he's a victim of being in a coma. You know what I mean? But nobody victimized him. It's self-inflicted.
I'm glad you believe that. I'm glad you believe that. Glad you believe that. You can get out. I saw that little thing.
How is black screen not
that little
blocked?
thing?
Unblocked.
I could have wrote the same thing. Hey, listen, people, I could have wrote the same thing. LE means law enforcement. Did Walter take you to Burger King? No. What happened to him is the worst part. What happened to Letitia is pretty bad too, because we can't take away what happened to the biological mother.
All
so we start seeing some very odd videos from Miss Letitia. Not from Miss Letitia, from
I know, Cherry, I know you like your toys, but we know who that idiot is, so I just got rid of her. It's just like we don't need that right now. I'm sorry, Cherry.
Dre. She's laying in the bed.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I'm answering my own question because blank screen does get blocked, but blank screen just opens a new account. Like I don't have that much patience to troll that much. But blank screen just keeps showing up, so they just like accept it. It's really funny.
God. Putting saliva on his face.
Yeah, I mean, I admit that's weird.
Saying, you like my new $10 dress? Get a picture of me.
But to me, that's no different than like, okay, if I'm at a restaurant, right? Or if I'm at a bar, let's just make it a more realistic scenario, more or less. So let's say I'm at a bar and I see a couple and the dude is so wasted drunk, right? And he's passed out, right? And I see the spouse like lick her husband and film it, you know? The first thing I'm going to think is, that's fucked up. None of my business, though. Period. That's fucked up. None of my business, though. I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, that shit's got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point where I'm going to be like, oh my God, I have to go after this person and I have to show them. I have to show the world that this person is abusive. Like, just, I mean, if that person wants to be married, you know, like, now, granted, it's not the same thing because he's in a coma. But again, that's them. They're married. If she wants to lick his face, she can lick his face, dude. That's none of your fucking business.
Oh, his mother, she's just the egg donor. Okay. if my husband ever heard me call my mother-in-law the egg donor, I don't think I'd ever see him again. Okay? So, Miss Letitia Bias is made out to be the most horrible person in the entire world
I love when
for
Tracy Chooks gets all
accidentally
pissed
getting
off.
pregnant at a young age. Does she get upset? Can you give me a minute? Don't tell me what I missed. Just sit down. All right? Yeah, the best was that time when Vaughn turned his head away from her. That is the truth. Thanks for your money. Goodbye. I didn't read it, but I will take your money. Thank you.
I mean, but I do that. But I'll read the comment, like, straight up. Like, I get people who will super chat me, like, because they have to know. They need me to know that they're insulting me. So, like, they'll super chat me an insult, and I'll just be like, cool. Any insults? $10 super chat insults get you highlighted. Sure. So I kind of get that, but I'll at least, I mean, I'll give them the they purchased the insult. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll highlight it and I'll go over it. I'll read it out loud. You know what I mean? Like, don't be, look at it. She can't even give them like they bought the insult. Let them have it. Okay. Can we keep that in mind? Marvon's grandma was the person in his life. See, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but thank you.
She makes all these videos and they're just weird. And it seems like there's a personal attack against the mother because she got pregnant at a young age.
See, again.
And instead of...
Again, right there. Again, right there, here she is, and she's saying there was attack against his mom. Like, who cares? That's again a personal family issue that's none of your fucking business. Whether like who gets along with their fucking in-laws, dude? Almost nobody. Cash, thank you so much. You look like the Edge to me. Not an insult, but okay. Well, I'd rather look like him than play guitar like him, if I'm being honest. But thank you. Like, that's none of your fucking business. Who cares if she gets along with the in-laws or not?
Any sort of abortion, right? Instead of having an abortion, instead of putting the baby in a dumpster. I know some of these people on YouTube, they prefer that. They like that. They support that. I don't. She decides to give birth to the baby and give the baby to her mother. So Marvon was raised by his own grandmother.
So?
And apparently, for the first time in history, that's looked at as a bad thing. So there's this huge attack on Letitia. So what exactly happened to Marvon? Now, okay, well, the marriage isn't going so good. And she puts up,
right.
This is what happens. All of a sudden, we get to see a random video of Dre McCray recording Marvon freaking out. Now, we never heard him scream his head off before, but he starts yelling. He's like, I can't stay in this house because I don't think and I mean, this was really like something big. And it was alarming.
Okay.
And at this point,
how long does she go on like this?
As we're listening to him yell,
okay,
go over here.
Enough for this.
We will see.
I will spare you guys, and we'll get to the nitty gritty.
Nope, don't want that. It's Julie. Okay, download files. Okay. All right, no, I don't want that. We've got some City of Yuma stuff.
We've got some evidence from the city of Yuma.
Okay.
Let's just screw that. We don't need to look at that.
All right. Where is... Hold on. I got the city of Yuma police department stuff, but I don't have the body cam footage. Can you resend that, please? Where did that go? Okay, let me look. Maybe I'm... Let me see. Or is it this one? Download. Where is it? Let me see. Let's call him. Kaylee.
Yes.
I ended up getting the files for... Oh, is this it? The one that says hello, blank, blank wants to share the files with you? Click the button below. Is that it?
Yeah, it says download now, I believe.
Okay, so it's... Oh, whoa, okay.
She's like totally boomering like me. Now, I want to address this comment. Beck says, I'm not a fan of Dre, by the way, but I don't think she deserved to be dragged like this. I want to elaborate on that because I do agree with you. But here's the thing. How I'm going to elaborate on that. Now, if you are a social media influencer, if you're a creator in any way, shape, or form, and make yourself to some degree a public figure, well, then you are subject to criticism. It's just the way it is. It's fair. It doesn't matter who you are. You're subject to criticism. But what you're not subject to is slander. You're not subject to being falsely accused of a crime that never took place, that there's no evidence of ever taking place. So this is where she crossed the line. I don't have an issue with MGL talking about another YouTube creator at all. Why would I have? I do that. Why would I have a problem with anyone doing that? What I have a problem with, though, is she has used her platform of over 80,000 subscribers to create a narrative that this woman tried to kill her husband slowly, quickly, in every which way possible. I mean, tried to make her out to be homicidal. It's just really, it's not okay. I mean, these children are going to grow up one day and probably see this.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything that... Okay, extraction. Okay.
It doesn't show anything. The body cameras won't show anything. And neither do the pictures.
All right.
Like, they don't show anything bad.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye.
So let me get back to this. Do you guys want to... Thank you for becoming a member. Love Lakers. We're going to show you some body cam footage in order of how I got it. So we're going to share it. The girl that sent it to me does not want credit.
Now, before we get into this real quick, let me I want to show you guys something here. I'm not going to go over much of it. I just know that, because I know Makeup Mobster was live earlier today, and I just want to show basically right here. This is just Makeup Mobster going over this site and showing that all of the videos that MGL did on this subject are now mysteriously deleted. Why? Why delete all of these videos? I mean, if you're up here and in this live stream, you're standing by everything that you've said, why delete all these videos? It makes no sense. Or make them private or whatever. Why take them down? If I mean, it's all of those. Look at that. This is just a quick freeze of the Playboard site that shows that she took down all of these videos. Why?
Got it.
All right, so here's the body cam footage.
Justin, do you want to come up? There's the link, Justin, if you want to come up.
Oh, great.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to continue to watch. Okay. This is it.
Yeah,
it's still loading, so that's probably.
So now Jaundice is going to come up. This should be.
I could download it, but I could still view it. This is the McCray house that they're walking up to right now.
I mean, it's always the same circle of people who do fucked up shit too. You know what I mean? Like, just the credibility alone is fucked for what she's doing. I mean, you look at these people that she is very public in claiming that she has been on a team with, right? And one of these people who she's defended too after the fact, but who's about to come on panel, this guy doxed a victim, an alleged victim. And I don't even like to say alleged. I just do it for the sake of just being correct as far as doing things correctly, as far as, you know, as far as I'm concerned, those emails are an admission of guilt on Jared Lysick's part. So K-Dub, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. So they're basically an admission of guilt, those emails. And so this victim, who this community has pulled together basically to protect her anonymity, this asshole gets a hold of a document and doesn't bother to even redact it, doesn't bother to read it, just wants to be the first one to share it, and then doxes this person's name, address, social security number. I'm talking the works. And and this person just stands by their side without even publicly going, well, you probably shouldn't have done that. Why? Because this is a doxing asshole herself.
This is the first video.
Where are the children?
Mom, come to you one now! Exclamation mark. My babies are inside.
They're inside. Why don't we go around, give these guys room to work?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
Danny. Let's go over there, have a seat.
Wow. This
And
is her, guys.
I realize this could be very triggering for some people, but I think it's necessary to show this from an objective perspective. Okay. She's the only one that's shown this video, and I don't think it's fair that she gets to just spin her narrative on it. So I'm showing this to show a alternate perspective on it. And basically the perspective that was reported in that police report.
This is when they first got to her, one officer.
So they drove the out in front with the wife. Okay. I know it's dramatic.
Oh, she's got makeup on.
Who cares if she's got makeup on? What difference does that make?
The last couple weeks, he hasn't been in a good mental place.
And why is that?
All right. So for me, she paused. She got makeup on. She paused. She thought of what she was going to say. And instead of saying, I walked out and I found my husband hanging from the... right?
Okay.
My husband's in a...
Here's the thing about that, you fucking idiot. The cops already know that. They already know. And they want her to feel comfortable and tell them what happened. So she's going to do that in her own way. She's obviously traumatized. She doesn't know how to deal with the situation. She doesn't know how to handle it. So the fact that she's wearing, so what if she's wearing makeup? What difference does that make? You know what I mean? Like, so fucking what? But the fact that she just simply said that he's been depressed, she's just explaining and setting up the situation more or less. Like, here she is going over this body cam footage and still trying to create a narrative that this woman is somehow responsible, directly responsible for this man's current condition.
He's in a different mental state. Keep going, girl. Come on. Show us. Tell us. Tell us. Go ahead.
And there will be at times where he's not in a good place. And these last couple of weeks, it's been really bad. But I would have never
expected anything like
no.
this? Okay. Wipe these out with them in the shed. That's okay. Yeah, in the house. Was it fire? Were you guys going through marital issues?
When his brain don't work right sometimes, and it was like he wasn't living in reality. It felt like he's not. Like the things he'll say.
Understand, folks, before this idiot chimes in again, this is a woman who, according to that police report, had just cut her husband down, called her daughter in to help, but then realized that she doesn't want her daughter to see her father in that condition. And like Chasing is saying in the chat, she thinks that he's gone. She's in shock. She doesn't know how to deal with it. She tried to save his life. She tried to initiate CPR to revive him. This is somebody who is, if you've ever been in a situation like that, more or less, you kind of step outside yourself. You don't really know how to handle it. You don't really know how to, sometimes people just can just kick in logic and rationality, but most of the time they can't. This is a situation that nobody here can deal with and relate to. Unless you've actually had to cut down your spouse or loved one from an attempted suicide by hanging, and tried to revive them while trying to maintain your children's mental health and mental and emotional well-being, you know, you don't get to judge this lady.
When I would respond, and it's hard to say, like I would tell him like I'm concerned or whatever it may be, and then he'll deny that he even said it with just a few seconds ago. That's what I mean. Like, he will say things that he doesn't realize, I guess he doesn't remember even seconds after saying it. So then he's upset about my response.
All right. And before we continue, let me also point out that let's talk about her behavior after the fact. Let's talk about her filming him in a coma and going live or whatever the fuck she did and using it for content. Well, considering that that's been her way of expressing herself prior to this. Now, would I do that? No. Would most of you in chat do that? No. But seeing as this is clearly her safe place, just like going live is MGL's safe place, we can safely say that because MGL is constantly live. She's live for hours and hours and hours on end, and she's not discussing anything of any value. She's just spewing out madness 99% of the time. And she's doing it to get some sort of approval from her audience. Her safe place is going to the people that go to her for entertainment. Her safe place is to be with the people that her doing can never be wrong. Anything that she does is never, ever wrong. So this person is not much different than MGL in that sense. And so, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. It makes sense to me that would be her way of coping, using social media and engaging in social media to cope with this tragedy that she's having to deal with. Is she probably a very vain person? Most likely. Is she probably a very egotistical person? Most likely. None of which make her a murderer. None of which make her malicious necessarily. So it's just insane to sit here and assume that she is of malicious intent because she goes to what she has created for herself to be a safe space, and she goes there to cope with a tragedy that she has no idea how to deal with.
But my response is to what he said whenever he denies saying it. And so it's almost, I even told him recently he should call the doctor because this happened months before, like in July, it would have been 3 years that he's had.
Was he taking medication?
No.
How long?
For a few months.
For a few months? Okay, but it's been going on for 3.
Right. The memory hasn't, only the last couple of weeks.
It's public. It's public. If you don't want to watch it, bye.
Not really. We work at home. I film videos.
God, like she sucks so bad. Like, why is she so shitty? Like, it must suck to be MGL. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine being burdened with constantly having to lie on top of all the other lies. I can't imagine having to justify my shitty actions all the fucking time in my own head to myself and then to an audience. It just seems exhausting, you know, to sit here and lie to herself and tell herself that she's that she's more physically attractive than most women. It's just not realistic. There's a delusion there. And, you know, and what's funny is when people are modest and people are, you know, nobody will look for your physical flaws. Nobody will look for your physical imperfections unless you're sitting there up there acting arrogant and talking about how fucking perfect you are all the time, which is exactly what she does.
I am on social media, so we have taken a break from selling jewelry, but like he does a lot of work as far as, because I work a lot, he'll do like cleaning and taking
care of the house and the kids.
Right.
How many kids do you have?
We have 3.
She's just thinking out loud.
3. They're all his? Same marriage, or
one is biologically his, but he is.
And you know what it looks like to me? Now, I'm not an expert on makeup. I'm honestly not, believe it or not. Go figure. I'm not an expert on makeup, but it looks like she started to put on her makeup and never finished. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like she was in the process of putting on makeup and was somehow interrupted by, I don't know, maybe finding out that her husband was hanging from the shed.
He's adopted the other 2?
Not legally, but yeah, they've been around. He's been around since
You raised them, basically.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So when was the last time you saw him?
Before he went outside.
Which was about what time?
I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
It's 8:42.
Let me tell my dad.
Oh, I love this. Oh, I love when people do this. Yeah, welcome to the Glarer chat. The real Piscine predator, whatever the fuck that means. She didn't kill her husband, but she is mentally ill 100. But it doesn't give MGL the right to ruin her life. The whole damn thing is horrible and it adds to YouTubers looking bad. I agree with everything you said, except for the fact that you just said she is mentally ill 100, because you're not a mental health professional. You don't get to say that. Just because she deals with things differently than you do, just because she behaves in a way that maybe you particularly don't understand, you do not get to label somebody as mentally ill. Okay? You don't get to do that. Not in here.
Dad, comma, tell mom to come to Yuma right now! Exclamation mark.
Okay, so what time did you guys break up? Let's put it that way.
I woke up at 6:10.
6:10, was he awake at that time?
No.
So 6:10, he's sleeping, you're awake. What time does he wake up about?
He woke up maybe around 7:15.
So about an hour later?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 7:15, he wakes up. Did he appear upset?
Very, very quiet, reserved, not happy.
Was he talking to anyone?
Well, me and my daughter we were in a Bible study, and he came out because he uses their bathroom to go to the restroom every morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the dogs, guys. The dogs are annoying.
Like, I made you some herbs, and he said, "Is it gonna?" And oh my God. How do I tell my children? Oh my God.
See, this is a person who clearly has a million things going on in her mind right now. And absolutely understandably so. But what I'm also looking at is we're also looking at the things being on her mind seem to be based on you know, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a judgmental person on YouTube who's just in somebody's chat and I'm just passing judgment on what I'm seeing, I'm also going to point out that her mind is on the right things, even though her mind is scattered all over the place. And although she is, you know, addressing God knows what, she seems to be thinking of the right things. She's like, what about my children? What am I going to tell my children? Right now, she thinks that her husband has committed suicide. So on top of the fact that she's thinking about her children not having a father anymore, she's also thinking about how she's going to explain to them and try to make them understand why her husband did what he did when she doesn't even understand it herself. So try to put yourself in her shoes for a second, which MGL is clearly incapable of doing.
So you said he had other illnesses?
No, but he's suffering from
And there's a cop in her face, exactly.
March 24th, but his brain hasn't been working right for a long time.
A long time meaning?
Like before he started having,
Before he started having?
Before there was like a few months prior that he wasn't who he was. My husband was the most gentle man.
So he has years. So you're saying before that?
When I met him, he was the most gentle, calm man. And then there was like a switch in 2019 where he was egotistical, narcissistic, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, not himself at all, to the point where we would leave the house often to get away because of how scary it was. And even at one point, CPS got involved because I would reach out to the VA. I would tell them I need help. They gave me a number to some other place, and it was some hotline.
Look at the officer. Look at the officer.
But it was for veterans, and I told them.
What do you mean, look at the officer? We can't see the officer.
Help. I don't know what to do, and so they called CPS, which was so scary because, like, I would always leave the house. I would always make sure that when it was really bad, I would try to shield the children, but they didn't put that in their report, so it was like me and him were being investigated, and I was very careful with me making sure that we wouldn't see him. It started July 5th. It started. It was several months of nonstop.
Different person.
Completely. It really started when we.
Come on.
Wow.
Push down, and I noticed that every time.
What a fucking asshole. So MGL is like telling her to hurry up. Like, she just found her husband hanging, had to cut him down, had to perform CPR, had to manage her children from not seeing it, call 911, and now she's having to explain the situation. This is the first time she's had a calm moment in the entire scenario, and MGL isn't patient enough for her to get through her feelings right now.
Doctor, something, his personality would change, and I felt like there was something related to what the doctor was doing.
Can't hear him.
and there it was like being released or something. I don't know. But it was personality changes shortly. And then it would last for like a day or two or not very long. But
guess what? There's flies in dry heat, dude. There's definitely flies in dry heat.
I mean, that is long, but compared to now, it's not. But he would go back to normal. But we would see this doctor like every week because I needed a lot of help with my body, and so did my husband. My children would see him, and then I noticed a pattern, and so I told my husband, like, not just because something is going on. I don't know what it is, but I need to see it's messing with your personality. And he felt like, no, it's doing me good, whatever. So then on one occasion, I had told this doctor, please, can you not do this to my husband anymore? There's a pattern of behavior that happens shortly after these massages get done. And so he didn't listen either. Then at one point, this doctor asked me for sexual favors. And
oh my
through
God.
text. And long story short, I told him, don't contact me anymore. I went to the police department. I got an order of injunction. And then shortly after that, that's when like the after effects of it.
Oh my God.
Happened, and it stayed that way for months and months and months. I really feel like this doctor did some type of black magic or something to my husband. I mean, not really sure because it lasted months. I was even getting ready to.
Okay, now here's the thing about that. Let me interject here. So what she's claiming right now is that she took her husband to see a doctor. The doctor apparently asked her via text to perform sexual favors on them. And so she reported this to the police. Of course, she was supposed to report that to the police. I don't think that she would have been able to get any type of injunction without some sort of evidence. And I would assume that evidence would be those text messages. So there was obviously something inappropriate involved in those text messages. But, you know, to say black magic, okay, I get that people are like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, this lady. But, you know, this is somebody who doesn't understand medicine and how it works. Maybe they prescribed him certain medication that affected his behavior somehow. One of the side effects could have been where he became narcissistic and became cold-hearted and what's the word I'm looking for? Combative, I guess. So who knows? You know, but just because she said black magic, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, she could have just been using a figure of speech. Maybe he manipulated her. Maybe he was manipulated in some way by this doctor. And she was just saying, that's her way of saying, I don't understand what he did, you know?
Out of the house because it wasn't safe for me and my children anymore.
Okay. Cash, thank you again. Do not suffer alone. Talking helps. There are some scum out there, but stay true to Yasin. Thank you. Appreciate that.
When was the last time he got treatment?
Oh, this was many years, like at least for sure 3 years ago. More than 3 years
So he hasn't gotten the treatment since then?
No. He's a chiropractor. And since the order of injunction, we would never want to go back to him, especially because that's for my husband, that's disrespectful to him as well. You know, the doctor asking for sexual favors for me, right, and promoting it as something that's going to be healthy for our marriage.
So when he went in and he's going in for a chiropractor, I presume he got an injury.
All right, but here's the thing. Why is she? I mean, you also got to understand the person that she's talking to, she's not talking to us as an audience. She's not talking to her audience. She's talking to a cop about reporting someone's inappropriate behavior towards her. Doesn't she assume that that cop could find out if that's true or not? Why would she say that? if she didn't think that she could prove it?
It wasn't. That's not really related to.
Now, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I'm not going to call somebody a liar unless I think they're a liar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on a discharge, a medical discharge.
Okay.
Medical discharge, and
What medications is he taking?
Wow.
Yes, I give him herbs too, but that's just like lavender and.
Now, there's a reason why that's redacted. It's because it's never public record what somebody's medication they're on, what they've been prescribed. So I'm assuming that's why they redacted that. That's not public record. Like whatever medication you're on is between you and your doctor and your spouse, if your spouse is aware of it. That's it.
Other herbs, but other pharmaceuticals. I don't know if he took it. I'm sure he did.
Okay. Did he drink your tea?
He tossed it a lot. It wasn't because I grinded it up because I noticed that within the last couple.
Redacted.
Where's your mom live? Where does your mom live?
My mom lives in
Tucson.
This is like.
Is there anyone else we can call for you, like a pastor or a priest or some other religious person you can go to, a friend?
I can call my friend, or is she just be Toma?
No, I don't. Ma'am?
What's his name? Marvon. Marbon? Yes. Last name? McCray.
McCray?
MCCRAY. Oh, they're trying to print this hard.
MCC? They're still,
Show me how to secure work for me.
they're still working on them. MCC what?
RAY.
Okay, so.
Yeah, they're always going to try to work on them until, a doctor says otherwise, okay?
Yeah.
So you guys been married since 2019?
No.
No? How long have you been married?
2014.
2014.
Hold on 1 second. Subscribers? It's on subscribers. All right, there we go. There you go. All right. Justin said, put it on subscribers only.
Have y'all lived here since then?
Jesus Christ.
We bought this house like
This is it. This is the body cam footage. I have more.
What a shocker. She's
And
eating. She's eating.
2019
Amazing.
is when he started changing. Sure. 2019, he started changing when y'all went through the physical therapist. It's changed, and now it's just
It's not yes, and he got better. He would be better. He would be better until it would be the personality.
Right.
So they're transporting him because we still have a pulse on him, so they're gonna transport him, okay?
Oh my!
But just deep breath.
Calm down, let.
Just deep breath. We don't know if there's gonna be anything that's gonna be viable, but
Okay.
that's why they're transporting him, okay?
But they won't. They're
gonna keep.
Pay close attention. This is her reaction to finding out that her husband is actually alive. She thinks he's dead.
It would be the personality. So they're transporting him because we still have a pulse on him. So they're going to transport him. Okay? Oh my! But just deep breath.
Calm down. Let.
Just deep breath. We don't know if it's going to be anything that's going to be viable, but that's why they're transporting him. Okay? But they won't. They're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying.
Yes.
Okay? To get him to go breathing on his own.
So at 7:15, he wakes up.
That's not the reaction of somebody who just tried to kill her husband or has been trying to get rid of her husband, finding out that he's still alive and that there's a chance for him to live. That's not the reaction of that. That is the reaction of somebody riddled with relief. She got up. She was shaking. She is clearly ecstatic with hope. There's just no way that is the reaction of somebody who was sinister in anything that just took place, that had any type of malicious intent of anything that just took place. There's no way that you're going to tell me that. Incredible that she tried to make it out to be that.
You give him the tea. Did he say or do anything?
Yeah, he did.
Wait, what? He's alive?
We had gotten in we were not okay yesterday.
Before you went to sleep?
Well, throughout the day.
Throughout the day? Okay. You guys were arguing over what?
We weren't.
You were upset with each other.
There were disagreements, and they were so not normal, like, or not. They were, like I said, the last couple weeks, it's like he hasn't been in reality, and so I started recording because back in 2019 when he was not himself, I was so like confused and didn't understand. Like I said, I know people say like they're the most gentle person, but like Vaughn was kind-hearted and sweet and gentle and loved me like dearly. And when he was someone else, it was a completely different person. And so
I just randomly wanted to look at the chat here. Her chat sucks, dude. Like, look at these fucking people. This alley cat person is saying all about her. She's not talking about her at all. She hasn't said anything about herself at all. She's trying to make sense out loud of his behavior. She's trying to make sense out loud and understand why her husband tried to do what he just tried to do. She hasn't said anything in praise of herself in the slightest bit at all. And she's saying she's doing her best to make him look horrible. No, she's not. She's merely expressing concern of his behavior and trying to make sense of it. The guy just tried to fucking kill himself.
I was just so confused that I would start recording, and that was, and these last couple of weeks it started again.
Okay.
Because
now there's this comment here. I guess there's somebody here who dealt with this young widow, okay? And tragic, obviously, young widow implies that she lost her spouse. But she's in the chat and she's saying, oh my God, they had to pull me off of my husband. Okay. Now, here's the thing about that. I understand that. But just because this person, as tragic as that is, she obviously lost her husband. As tragic as that is, that doesn't mean that that was the proper way to react. That doesn't mean that this person, Drea, is reacting the wrong way. Now, I understand that, okay, you're emotional and you are clenching on to your husband and you want them, you don't want to lose them. I totally get that. But just because somebody else doesn't do that, and just because somebody else actually steps aside when qualified personnel from the fire department step in to try to save his life, it doesn't make her guilty of a crime. It doesn't mean that she was of malicious intent because she didn't react the same way that you did when you lost your husband. As tragic as that is, and I'm sorry you lost your husband, whoever that is, if you're hearing me, I'm sorry that happened to you, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. But just because she's not reacting that way doesn't mean that she doesn't care about her husband. It doesn't mean that she was malicious in her actions in any way, shape, or form. It's just crazy how people won't even trust their own guts, and then they just listen to a YouTube creator like whatever they say or feel is gospel. It's just insane to me.
Like after that happened because the person. Well, right now it wasn't necessary. It was
and the whole chat is jumping down her throat now for speaking of him in a past tense. Like, she just thought that he killed himself. What do you expect her to do? And when she's describing situations, those situations are past tense. Yes, was this, was that. He was behaving like this. When he started doing this, this happened. He was reacting this way. He was treating me like that. That's the correct way to address things. If something took place in the past tense, that's how you fucking address it. What are you talking about? Like this whole chat, she has an entire audience dedicated to jumping to unfair conclusions. It's insane. Like MGL, this is what I'm always trying to say, people. MGL, yeah, she sucks. No doubt about that. She's clearly a shitty person. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But the problem is that the fuel behind her is that chat that fuels her. They're the ones funding her. They're the ones giving her validation. Like, the real problem is the crowd of people in that chat that are enabling this behavior. Like, my chat's not going to do that. As soon as I start doing that, my chat's going to jump down my throat and be like, what the fuck, Claire? What are you thinking right now, dude? What is wrong with you? Because I attract an audience that doesn't jump to these wild, fucked up conclusions about people. Hers obviously does. I always say it, man. A creator's audience speaks volumes about that creator.
A bit of a personality.
What?
He's not in reality. It was not like he's not in reality. And so I would start to have dark thoughts because it's like, how is this happening? Like, I know I'm not making it up. Like, I know this is like so confused. So I would start reporting, and it looked like he was like on some type of drug, but I know he's not. Like, I know he's not.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that you don't like that everybody's here right now. Does that bother you? Keep your $5. Bye. Come on, Dre.
She's such a shitbag.
No dairy, no processed foods, no soy. Like, we are very clean, mostly fruits, vegetables, very clean people.
Like, she just sits there and stuffs her face and shits all over her chat. Like, this is what I seem to constantly see all the time coming from her channel. She just sits there fucking and she's just an eating and shitting machine. Like, either she's on the toilet shitting out the stuff that she's stuffing in her face, or she's shitting craziness out of her mouth. It's just insane to me, dude. People just don't see right through it. And all I can think of is just when I try to visualize her chat, I just visualize a chat of just fucking gross ass, greasy ass, overweight people fucking with ho-ho crumbs all over themselves going, get her, Molly. I just picture a bunch of people just fucking twice as gross as she is. That's how I visualize her chat. If I like just one individual person in her chat, I pick out, and then I just try to visualize what they look like. And I visualize them sitting in some fucking polluted fucking recliner that's been farting for the last fucking 20 years that they never got up out of, just stuffing their fucking face with Cool Ranch Doritos and washing it down with fucking White Claw or whatever the fuck. It's just so gross, dude. Like all I have to do is just use my imagination as to what her chat looks like, and I'm grossed the fuck out. Can you imagine? Okay, she has, I mean, just all right. Let's just say she has. I know she had more people in there than I have in here. I know that, but 480 people. I just picture 480 people in a room. In just one big like venue, all sitting in fucking farted in chairs, just scratching their fucking gross ass smelly crotches and stuffing their fucking faces with fucking Nutri-Grain bars because they told themselves that they were healthy. It's just I can't help it. I just can't help it. All I can picture are people worse than her. And that's hard to imagine. You know what I mean? Like, and I know Cheesy Weezy's like trying to eat pizza. I'm sorry. I couldn't eat right now with that thought in my head. I couldn't. There's no way. Of 400 plus people, let's just give her the benefit of the doubt, like 1,000 people. 1,000 people just sitting there farting in fucking recliners. Just sitting there fucking get her, Molly. Yeah, she's gross. Sick bitch. I can't, dude. Oh my God.
People, because I was trying to heal him and get him better. And recently, but I don't argue with him anymore. I don't yell, because I started to notice that when I would argue back and I would defend myself, then that would trigger him even more. And it took time, but I learned how to not engage, but to calmly reply and to try to get out of the conversation to stop it from happening.
Okay. So last night y'all didn't argue, but you had a major
Earlier,
disagreement.
it was at like 12. It was.
Okay. Was it resolved before you went to sleep?
No, but we weren't talking really. No, because he had slept a lot of the day.
Okay.
One of the natural things that we take is kratom, and it's used for it's similar to, it affects the same pain receptors in your brain that opioids do, but it's not an opioid. And we've been taking it for years, and I couldn't understand what was causing the behavior change. It made me feel like I wonder if this is causing him to
act differently.
Right. Because if you take too much, you get sick, you'll vomit, and the body will just get it out.
See, that's interesting to me too, because here she is actually acknowledging that the kratom may have actually had an effect on his behavior. She hasn't, she's been scrutinized for giving the guy kratom and believing in kratom as being a natural treatment for whatever, right? But here she is actually brainstorming out loud and entertaining the idea that it's possible that kratom could have could have had an effect on his behavior. I don't see anything sinister there either.
But I wondered if it's not making him vomit, but it's giving him symptoms. And so yesterday I asked him not to take the kratom because I don't know if it's causing this. And he's like, well, I'm tired and my body needs it. But it wasn't just tired. Like, he would just like lean forward, and like he acted like he was someone who was on drugs, and it was scary and uncomfortable. And so I was almost certain it wasn't the kratom because he wasn't. So he had the behavior change and the weird, and like whenever he would walk, it would be like, so he would be really different, but I didn't know if it was the kratom, but I needed to rule it out, and I didn't want him to keep taking it if it was.
Really?
So I hid it, and so he took his last dose at like 12, and I hid the kratom, and then like 3 hours later he asked for it, and I politely, or
I agree,
around
true
12,
crime
I had
done.
asked him
I
please not
agree.
to take it because I don't know if this is making his body like this or making him worse. He's like, Andrea, I'm just tired. Like that conversation I recorded because I was like trying to like calmly just tell him like, I don't know if this is it, but I feel like it could be making your body like this because it's not just a tired. There's a different. There's tired where I'm tired right now, but I am functional. Him, it was tired, and he's like slouching, leaning, like slurring his words. It was not normal, not a normal tired, and I've seen this from him before. And so I asked him, please don't. And if he does, then I'm gonna take our children and go to another room or go to the RV. And he didn't like that. He felt like, so you're gonna isolate me? And I said, I apologize if you want to look at it like that, then okay, but I'm worried that this is making you worse. And so it was like a 10-minute conversation, and I asked if we could just stop because we were studying at that time, and we were on a time schedule because we had our church at 1 o'clock, and at 12 I wanted us to start getting ready and to cook and whatever. So this was like maybe 11:45. We're having a conversation, and I wanted him to like, can I contact so that, yes, they are here, they took daddy to the hospital, period. No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but now that's a break. Hey, are your children okay? They don't know. They don't know. They never saw? Okay. They don't.
Okay, and she's also responding to texts. People are
And then
concerned and wondering what's going on. And she's got two cops in front of her. She's explaining as best as she can what's going on, but she's also taking the time to inform loved ones of what's happening. Again, not something that we would typically see in someone with malicious intent. She's being considerate and caring about other people's concerns. And
I did not want her because normally she helps me when like she'll help me, but she came outside and I was like, no, don't come out here, like, because I was freaking out, like I needed to get him, but I didn't know how, and I was scared, but I told her no. So I think she heard me screaming, but she didn't see because she don't know. So they don't know. She don't know. They don't know. We also, I don't know if you were able to. There is Amberly's place. Are you aware of Amberly's place? I just know that's for like. It's an advocate center, but they also help with situations as such, just to come and talk to you, just provide a second listening ear. So if you are willing or you wanting them to come out here, they can come out here and talk to you. I don't know.
So I'm a dick, and I assume that these officers were male. That's my fault. Both of these officers seem to be female. So yeah. Sorry about that. Guess I'm a little old-fashioned sometimes, and I make assumptions.
I would need more information because I would be more uncomfortable because this is already a lot.
Yeah,
Like
of course, and this is just an offering of the services
okay.
out there, so you don't have to do that. But it's just something to just people
But
that you want or feel like.
I will say also, it also kind of explains to me why that police report was written so thoroughly, so detailed, because women are just generally more thorough than men. So yeah, that makes perfect sense to me that police report would be written so thoroughly and so detailed.
Someone about this, you can reach out to them and they can help you with some resources out there. Okay.
Right. They're here to basically help you, so you can talk to them, get stuff out. They can help you with the children. If you need to contact someone, they can help you with that.
I thought they were a shelter for.
No. Their main function is to help victims of abuse and stuff like that. But they're also here for people that need help, that have gone through a traumatic event. See what I'm saying? So if you want, we can call them and ask them, see if someone can come out here to help you.
Usually they'll process something and let it go.
Yeah.
And you need to go see what the status is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not mandatory. We're just offering.
Thank you
it
for
to
that. I will remember. Yeah.
All right. So, Kratom, what is that?
KRATOM.
Yeah, those dogs are awful, bro.
That's what has been managing. Well, I don't have a lot of body pain anymore since the lifestyle changes that we've made.
Right.
But I would be in a lot of pain from my.
Justin's on panel right now. If we can just take a moment to
let's take a moment.
Put in some loving
and hear what the fucking most annoyingly fucking boring YouTuber on the planet has to say about this.
prayer hands or some sort of loving sentiment to Marvon's family that is watching this right now.
Yeah, this has to be extraordinarily emotional.
I did message Miss Letitia and I did message Miss
How
Wynette.
the fuck do you do that, bro? How the fuck do you sit up here and play this shit and trash this lady the whole fucking time and then go praying hands for the family, praying hands for, no, dude, like, keep that same energy, bro. Seriously.
And I let them know firsthand, even before I went live, I said, listen, my friend requested this. She got it. This is the first time that we're seeing this. Everything is redacted. Wherever this case is right now, I will say that I've already made my peace with it. I'm not angry. I'm not hateful towards Dre McCray.
Then why are you going over this?
The last thing she said to me was that she was living her...
The act of you playing this footage and how you're commenting over it is you being shitty about it. Like, don't sit here and be like, I'm already at peace with it. If you were at peace with it, you'd leave it the fuck alone and you'd move on.
Living her best life. I'm going to take her on that. And we're just watching and revisiting this case because this is the first time Justin and I are being able to watch this police footage. And I think that seeing what happened on that morning on May 23rd of last year is very important.
Here's the thing.
And to see her.
Here's the thing about that, guys. I want you guys to understand, because you're seeing, and I see you guys making your comments. You see all the praying hands and all the hearts in the chat and all of these people just following Molly's lead and doing everything that she's saying, right? And everybody's just yes. MGL, you're so good. You're such a good soul. You're such a good heart. And all of these people are just blindly doing whatever the fuck she wants them to do, right? Without listening to any logic or or rational thought, anything to inspire this behavior, just her telling them what to do, right? Now, a lot of you see that as very discouraging. See, I don't. I'll explain to you why. Take Critical K, for example, okay? Critical K got canceled. Her channel gone. These people are just looking, these people, as shallow as they fucking are, make no mistake, that same thing that makes her seem so dangerous, that she has all of these fucked up people behind her and supporting her. Well, those people, part of that shallowness is the day that she's gone and the day that YouTube kicks her off, nobody's going to give a fuck. Because Kay went off and she's trying to promote the fuck out of her new channel, even though she's not supposed to be on YouTube, but she's got a new YouTube channel. But the majority of those people, she used to have almost 1,000 people on a regular in her chat doing exactly what she told them to do, calling anybody who didn't want to do what she fucking wanted, peasants, and just insulting anybody who didn't get on her bandwagon, who did not follow her lead, who didn't toe her line, right? But as soon as her shit gets canceled, where are those people now? Because now she's got a new channel and she could barely get 1,000 views per video. And I'm talking replays. You know what I mean? So if there's so much being invested in what this person has to say, well, where are those people? Where are they now? Because I promise you, the day that somebody sues the fuck out of MGL and YouTube ends up stripping her of her channel because of her constant violation of terms of service, as soon as that happens, she's going to be down to like nothing. She's gonna build her channel up to maybe 2,000-3,000 subs, and then that's it. The rest of everybody, because they're fucking sheep, are gonna end up being like, well, she got kicked off the YouTube for a reason. Fuck her. And then they would have moved on to somebody else to latch onto, and everything that they say is gospel now, because these are codependent fucking assholes with no brains of their own. So, there's a flip side to every coin. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, these are shitty, enabling, fucked up people. But at the end of the day, those shitty, enabling, fucked up people will disappear just as quick as her platform gets taken from her. And that'll just be it. And then she'll have like a fraction of her subscribers as her rider dies. And it won't even matter. It won't even matter. And then she'll just have to sit there and beg people for money. Guys, I'm just trying to, this really helps me out a lot. If you guys join my Patreon, it helps me out a lot. If you guys become members, it just helps me out a lot. Just pathetically fucking begging for money. Just a matter of time. So people sitting here, and I include myself in that, because you look at this and you're just like, oh my God, this is the problem. These people are enabling her, but those same enabling people are fair weather fucking fans. That's what they are. Fair weather fans. They follow the numbers. They see a bunch of people are in the chat, and then they're like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon and be active in this chat. And then I'm going to say things that people will agree with to get approval from everybody else. That's the kind of thinking these fucking ho-ho crumb-covered, fart-smelling, couch-sitting idiots are fucking doing. That's that's all it is. That's all they are. They're nothing. They're empty, just fucking avatars and handles. Absolutely nothing. No substance to them whatsoever. No value, nothing.
See her struggle with words, to see her mannerisms and her body movements. It does not matter whether the Yuma police close the case or if that piece of paper was just made up. Just remember, there's a lot of sneaky people in this community that like to just put out false information. I believe nothing. In fact, yesterday I was standing in my kitchen and I said to myself,
wow,
I have no control over this situation, but one thing I do know about this woman, Andrea McCray, is right now she is in God's hands.
As we all are.
As we all are, and myself too. I will not sit here and judge her. I am not sitting here and blaming her.
You have done that for months. And then as soon as it didn't generate views as the way it did at first, basically as soon as the rivalry with Katie Joy died out, you stopped talking about it and moved on to other things. That's all that happened. But you were doing exactly what you're sitting here saying that you're not doing now. And then you deleted all those videos. So come on, like, let's get real. Seriously. Because make no mistake, MGL is a drama channel. She is not a true crime channel. Because first of all, this is not a true crime case. This is a drama case. Period. It is a personal situation within a private family that I guess, well, to say they're a private family, not really fair because they were people who made themselves very public. Fair enough. But the fact of the matter is there's no crime here. There's absolutely no crime. So what are you talking about? And here you are saying she, in order to try to pass it off as a crime case, you made these wild accusations at this woman of being an attempted murderer and an abuser and all of these crazy things. Right? And now you go and you dirty delete all your bullshit videos where you said all this stuff. And then say, oh, I'm not judging this woman. But you were judging this woman, and not because, and this is where I'm on to you, MGL. It's not because you care, and it's not because the situation itself is something that people are passionate about. It's because it generated a rivalry between you and another very large creator with another platform. And that drama between the two of you generated views. Because those ho-ho crumb covered fucking gross ass fart smelling couch sitters feed off of YouTube drama. These people don't give a shit about anybody. What they care about is the entertainment of you rivaling with some other YouTube creator. And that's it. And you exploited this family in the interest of that. And that's it. That's really your entire motivation. And as soon as people stopped giving a fuck about that, you moved on to other things.
There was a time when I was absolutely just furious with her actions, but I've accepted that I am not Marvan's family, and there's nothing that I can do for that family any longer.
There was nothing you could have done for them in the first place. You didn't do anything for them in the first place. You capitalized off of their misery and their own personal family drama. That's all you did. You milked that cow for everything that it was worth, and once that cow's titty went dry, you moved on to another cow's titty. That's all you did. Don't sit here and be like, I can't do anything else. No, what's going on here is that you were proven to be completely full of shit, and this entire live stream is a pure attempt of damage control that you're just not succeeding at. It's not happening. Like, there's no control to this damage. None. Like, we all see right through you. You act like you act like we don't have memories. You act like you act like the rest of us are fucking pilled out like you are, and that we just don't remember 5 minutes before of what happened, or a few months before what happened. We all saw it. Like, we saw you exploit the fuck out of this family. I don't know why you're sitting here saying, well, I can't do anything for them anymore. You never did anything for them. It was all for yourself. We all saw it. And I'm not defending Katie Joy either. Katie Joy was doing the same fucking thing. She just took a different position. But that's what Katie Joy does too. We all know what Katie Joy does. And so people saw, like, and even the people who don't like you and don't like Katie Joy still were like, ooh, these two idiots are going at each other. Just like what'll happen when you and BHB inevitably go at each other's throats. That's just a matter of time. But as soon as that happens, guess what? Everybody's going to be here for it because it's entertaining. It's like betting on cockroaches fighting. It's like being in a fucking Cambodian prison and and then catching two cockroaches and fucking betting on who's going to fucking win and pitting them up against each other. That's what it was like watching you and Katie Joy go at each other. And that's what it's going to be like watching you and BHB go at each other. That's all there is to it.
I have to accept it. And sadly, his family has to accept that as well. So watching this body cam.
I want to make that clear. We're always there for the family.
Absolutely.
We're always there for the family.
We will be there for, we will continue to be there for Letitia, Miss Wynette, Mr. Marvin Sr. We don't have any sort of connection or we don't have any we've never spoken to Marvin's sisters or brothers, Letitia's husband. None of us have.
Okay,
that includes Goose.
Okay, let's elaborate on that. They've never spoken to you because they probably have enough common sense to be like, this is our family, and I'm not gonna fuck. They probably only watched like 20 minutes of your content and we're like, I don't want to fucking have this lady fucking inserted into my life any more than she's already fucking inserted herself. So those people fucking likely refused to respond to you and talk to you. Don't sit here and be like, I've never talked to them, like as if you would never have the fucking the lack of scruples to reach out to them. Don't put it like that. We all see right through you. Come on, get real. Like, those are people who are just like, yeah, I don't want you fucking interfering with my family any more than you already did. Get the fuck out of here, you crazy lady. And I can't understand what you're saying because your mouth is full, always.
Goose helped us a lot on this journey with this story, but we are going to continue watching this. If you hear something where it cutouts, it's because of the footage.
Right.
Just letting you know. And I invited Justin up here because he was on this journey with me, and it was very important to me.
Justin's like a fucking Justin's like a fucking little Yorkie, bro. Like, he's not even this dude. Like, she invited you, like, and admit that you invited him up there just because you just wanted a yes man. That's all he is. He's a yes man. He's just going to sit up there and kiss your ass because you hold the keys to his kingdom. This dude, the minute that you turn on this guy's going to have nobody. All he does is suckle the teat of your audience. You have provided this guy with his entire audience. And he knows it. So, yeah, he's like a little Yorkie that doesn't bark. He just sits there and goes, pet me. He just sits there. He just sits there fucking licking your palm, just licking your hand, sitting on your lap. This is what he does. Completely and totally fucking useless. The most use this guy serves is metaphorically sitting on your lap, doing what he's doing right now on your panel. This is the most he does. When he's on his own, he does jack shit. He can't read, and he spreads misinformation.
To me, that he see this to the end with me.
I mean, it's, you know, Marvon, he's became close to, you know, he's felt like a family member to us. I mean, we have photos of him in our home, literally in our home.
That's because you're fucking insane.
Walk into my closet, you'll see Marvon in my closet.
What?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Only an audience full of a bunch of fucking morons would not find it weird that you have pictures hung up of some rando in a coma hanging in your fucking closet. Because make no mistake, he is a rando to you. You don't know him. You don't know his family. But yet you've got fucking pictures of him in your closet. Why? Why in the fuck would anybody in your chat not think that that's fucking weird? Why? Because you attract a psycho fucking audience. There's only a fucking crazy idiot fucking moron would not think that that's completely and totally strange. You just said you walk into my closet. Why the fuck are there pictures of people in your fucking closet? What are you talking about? Why are there pictures of this guy in your closet? I mean, you could have just said, I got pictures of the guy. And I would have been like, okay. But you elaborated that they're in your closet. It's fucking weird. Yeah, if I found out somebody had pictures of me, if I walk into my closet, I got pictures of the glare. I'd be like, Cherry, make sure to block that motherfucker. Just do it on the down low.
Absolutely. There's nothing that I can possibly do to help this situation anymore, but I am closing out with this footage, and we're gonna move on with our lives.
Dude, this
right?
isn't even halfway over, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Hey, just 1 second. Can you drop the link again in 2 minutes? I need to switch devices. I'm on my phone and I'm at 4%.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, just drop it in 2 minutes so I can get to my computer.
Gotcha.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Dude, the minute she said that, I was like,
see this cutout.
What?
Primarily
how's that not the
plant-based.
reaction from
It's
every
more
single person in her
irritation
chat?
in my body, less pain. But him, he still gets pain, and
In his back and knees.
his back. He wasn't complaining of me, but the last couple weeks,
Dude, don't even get me started. Like, Audrey says, why doesn't her husband think that's weird? I don't understand their dynamic. I don't get it. I've come up with my own personal theories, okay, that make the most sense to me. And I'm not even sure about that. But there's something very, very, I don't get it. Because this Adrian dude seems like a pretty fucking logical guy. Like, everything about that guy seems logical to me, except for the fact that he's happily married to that woman. Everything about him seems logical to me, except that. It's very, very strange. I don't understand it. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand the attraction. I have no idea. Like, I couldn't, dude, listen, if I'm being dead serious here. If that was my fucking life, Okay. And if I was like the kind of provider that he is, dude, I'd walk in from work, you know, and I'd walk in and I'd see this mammoth sitting in the common area of my home, stuffing her fucking face and smelling up the house with her shit. I would be like, I got to get out of this. How do I got to get out of this. I can't do this. I don't understand it. Because as logical of a person as he seems, the action of him being married to her seems contradictory to that. It seems it doesn't add up, man. It doesn't fucking add up. Because I've seen him. I've seen her sit there and go, Adrian, don't you think this, and this? And he'll be sitting there petting the dog and be like, well, not really, because if you don't have any evidence to dictate that somebody committed a crime, well, you can't really accuse them of committing a crime. I've sat there and heard this guy do that. I've seen him do it on camera. It makes no fucking sense. A guy with that kind of just not only common sense, but clear intelligence. Like, I don't understand. The only thing that I can think of is that Adrian got stuck in an elevator with Tim Robbins, or with not Tim Robbins, fucking Tony Robbins, like in Shallow Hal, and then was like, you're gonna find this woman attractive. And just all of a sudden, whenever Adrian walks into his own house, he sees this fucking robust person sitting there farting, shitting, and eating on a constant basis and yelling. And then he just sees the hottest fucking thing he's ever seen in his life. His mind has tricked him into believing that this is the hottest fucking thing ever. And she's somehow intelligent and she makes sense in the things that she says. It's the only explanation that I can come up with. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't. That he got stuck in an elevator with Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins was like, you have this person here and you kind of like this person, but you see nothing but just a lazy, disgusting loudmouth who thinks that she's a life coach, even though she does everything that she can to destroy random people's lives. And she does it for YouTube content. But for some reason you want to be attracted to her? Well, okay. Out demons. And then, you know, hey, what are you doing? Banana hands, like in Shallow Hal. And then, you know, he hypnotizes Adrian into thinking that she's attractive. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. I can't think of any. I seriously can't think of any logical explanation as to why Adrian finds her attractive. It doesn't make sense to me. It's been, since I started on YouTube, it's been the most mysterious thing that I've ever had to ponder on here. Like, I just don't get it. I just sit there and I'm going, oh, how? Courtney, I'm telling you, that's what makes the most sense to me. That's what makes the most sense. It's either that, Courtney, or the Shallow Hal theory is what I'm going with. One of the two. She's either the beard or I'm going with Shallow Hal theory. I don't have evidence to back up the beard theory, you know? So I'm just going to go with the Shallow Hal theory. That's what I'm going with. Tracy, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, no narcissist would, no way. No fucking way. Dude, I could be a narcissist in the truest sense of the word, right? In the truest sense of the word. Supposedly isn't like the psychological term for narcissism, like one of the definitions that somebody actually literally wants to actually be sexual with themselves, that if they want to step out of their body, they want to fuck themselves. Isn't that like one of the things that they say is narcissism? I if I was that, there's no fucking way that I would like live under the same roof with this person willingly. There's no fucking way. Just makes no sense, dude. It doesn't fucking add up. Because then my mind starts going elsewhere. My mind starts to go to like, does she have something on him? Is she blackmailing him? Does she have compromising photos of him with animals or something like that? Like, what is going on? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how somebody like Adrian, because he seems like a fairly physically attractive guy, sure. Like you look at Wife Swap and you're just like, even then, you watch that episode of Wife Swap and you're just like, what the fuck is going on there? And I honestly think that that's the reason why that show was successful. That episode was successful. Why that particular episode was popular was because people were like, what the fuck? Okay, the swapping is weird in and of itself. Fair enough. But the already marriage that's going on there, the actual husband being married to her, that's fucking just as bizarre. Who swapped with him? When did that happen? Is there like a deep dive, like layers of wife swap that we're missing, and they're only covering the one wife swap? But I mean, it doesn't make sense. I can't come up with some traditional, I don't know what he sees in her. I just don't see what he sees in her. I don't get it.
The last couple of weeks, he's gained and it could be the last month, but he's gained like 9 pounds. And I felt like maybe in his belly was sticking out. So I wondered if there's toxins because he's not using, maybe his body's not coming out, or he's not, I hope you know what I'm saying because I can't get the words, but I felt like maybe he's not using or his bowel movements are not, I don't know. So I thought maybe he's backed up or something. So this morning with the herbs, I gave him a herb.
Yeah,
let's just skip on to this. Look at
how old is the man? God, how old was he? 28?
Which one?
Chew your fucking food and swallow it, bro.
Which one was it, Marissa?
The third, where it says redacted.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. I'm not the best. We got to give credit to the girl that requested it. Thank you.
Look how fucking useless this guy is.
Violet, cut it out.
911, what is your emergency? Okay, got it. Accept that.
Okay, what's your address, ma'am? What's your address?
Is it echoing?
Bro, mute your mic, dude. Bro, this guy's just sitting there fucking slurping on his vape, just like, dude, mute your fucking mic, dude, if you're gonna fucking slurp.
Ma'am, I can't hear you. What is your husband doing? You need a police or ambulance? 911 unknown?
ambulance. What's happening? I don't know. Do you need police or ambulance? I need you to focus and answer
I'm
my
going to
question.
mute, see if you can hear better.
Question, focus. What is happening with him? He hung himself? Okay, listen.
Mute yourself,
How
Marissa.
long he's been hanging?
Jesus, like, this is fucking terrible, bro. Like, this is horrible. The more I'm seeing, like, this is the first time I've ever seen any like actual evidence regarding this so-called case, right? First time I saw an actual police report, first time that I saw body cam footage, first time I'm hearing the 911 call, and none of it seems suspicious. None of it.
5430 East 30th Place? Ma'am. Yes. 5430 East 30th Place? No. 483. 5483. Okay, you said, is he breathing right now or no? No. Okay, listen, how old is he? Thank you. How old is he? 49? Okay, listen, are you able? Listen. Yes, cut him down if you can, okay? I'm getting help on the way. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, like the commotion is insane. This is the saddest thing I've ever heard, dude. Like, this poor lady, she didn't even cut him down. Like, she called 911 because she thought he was already dead. She didn't want to touch. She didn't know what to do. She called 911 and she followed the instructions of the dispatcher, which in my opinion is probably exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, I would like to think that instinctively I would try to lift the person up or I would try to cut them down, but I'm not going to blame a person for calling 911 instinctively immediately and then asking what should I do here? Her concern clearly seems to be to save his life.
Okay, are you able to get him on the floor? Can you get him on the floor? Okay, are you able to, he's not breathing, right? No. Okay, you think he's been hanging for about 20 minutes? Oh my God. Okay.
I heard a thud.
What is your name? Listen, what is your name? Can you answer me?
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah. And the last name? Oh my God.
11 minutes and 54 seconds that call is.
She's still muted.
Mute. You're on.
Justin said that it was 11 minutes.
I
and
do that all the
54
time. I
seconds,
can't make fun of her for that.
Call. Not once in 11 minutes and 54 seconds did she say the one thing that real people in trouble scream out, and that's hurry. Did you notice that?
Oh my God, bro.
I didn't until you just said that.
That's how much of a fucking idiot are you? Like, really? Like, how much of a fucking piece of shit are you? Seriously. Like, yeah, just sit there with your mouth open. Just because she didn't say hurry is not an indication of any guilt. She was on the phone for over 11 minutes following the instructions of the dispatcher. Exactly what anybody who calls 911 should be doing. She was hysterical, didn't know what to make of the situation, didn't know how to handle the situation. And until you are in a situation where you have to, God forbid, cut down a loved one from a self-inflicted hanging, you don't get to judge how she reacts when she's on the phone to 911. And mind you, this is way later in the live stream that I fast forwarded because I think I can speak for us all when I say I think we heard more than enough we saw enough of the body cam footage. We heard enough of the 911 call. No need to go over it in gory detail and overdo it. But you don't get to judge anybody for being in that situation until you're in that situation yourself. And God forbid anybody be in that situation. It's unbelievable. Now, again, like I was saying, prior to this is somebody who just said, I'm not going to judge this person. She's in God's hands, her words. This asshole too. This doxing asshole of a victim. I mean, and now she's sitting here saying that this woman didn't do what she was supposed to do while having 911 on the phone, and her actions, implying that her actions make her suspicious. It's ridiculous.
Well, you want to know something? I can't imagine seeing my husband like that and then me having to do CPR on him. I'd probably be screaming, hurry, hurry, hurry. Yeah, not once. I know. Nice observation. But usually when people are in trouble and they're trying...
No, it's not a nice observation. It's a judgmental one.
Trying to be at the aid of someone that they love, even a stranger.
I love this comment. Karma Camille. She transcends normal assholery on YouTube. She's to go. Too many impressionable people. I mean, I'm not for censoring anyone. I'm just saying it's a matter of time. I'm not pushing for anybody to mass report her, blah, blah, blah. That's just not what I do. You know, what I do here is I just, if you're going to watch this shit, my whole thing is like, look, if you're going to watch this shit, cool. You know what I mean? If you're going to watch, I'm not telling anybody not to watch MGL. If you're going to watch MGL, cool. No problem. My position is just to point out, this is what I do, is I just point out, if you're going to watch her, just know this is the kind of asshole she actually is. Don't let her fool you with her lies and her bullshit. This is what she does. She does not give a fuck about victims. She does not give a fuck about anybody's well-being. She doesn't give a fuck about anything but the growth of her channel. Period. That is it. And then I show evidence of it. But at no point do I say, hey, unsubscribe from her and mass report her and get rid of her, get her off of this platform. I'm just never going to do that. That's just not what I do. You know, I don't believe in censorship. I believe in her right to say what she wants. I don't believe in her right to victimize people. But I believe that will happen. I mean, somebody's going to get sick of it. Somebody's going to hold her accountable for it. And that's it. And I can only hold her as accountable as what's within my power to do so, which is use her as content myself and show it.
And even if you see someone choking or a baby that is, you know, the first thing you say on 911 is hurry, hurry, hurry. But I mean, she's different. You know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, we all had to learn.
Yeah. So she's not going to be sitting there giving CPR to a guy, to her husband, and then taking a second and being like, hey, can you hurry up? Hey, can you hurry up? hurry. Like, no, she's going to be focused on what she's doing. She's going to be clearly just focused on trying to deal with the task at hand, which is saving her husband's life, getting the chance of one breath to come out of him. That's what she's focused on. It's in her hands to do that. The dispatcher has put, the 911 dispatcher has put it in her hands to save his life. And so therefore she feels that it's on her to do that. She's not shifting the responsibility on anybody else. The dispatcher has already dispatched units to come and help with the situation. And in the meantime, while she waits, she is trying to save her husband's life.
To learn something. Recently, we learned that not all people call 911 when they discover a gruesome melee. Sometimes it takes hours to call 911. This particular woman allegedly saw her husband hanging, and she got up on that chair and chopped it off with her knife.
No.
And started to do CPR. And
wrong. She immediately called 911. We know this because on the 911 call that you just played, she asked the dispatcher if she should cut him down, which she did, and then performed CPR on him. That's what happened. So don't say that she waited to call 911. No, she immediately called 911. What are you talking about? Like, you can't even get your own facts straight. That's what's mind-blowing to me. Like, you're the one who played the fucking 911 call, and you can't even like get that one simple fact straight.
And not one time did she ever say, hurry.
So what?
Hurry. Shit. If she just never went out there, which is a bit, a bit of conundrum, I guess. If she just would have never went out there, she would have just left him for a while, he wouldn't be here. So that makes me wonder, did she...
Makes you wonder what? That she saved his life? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? I got to play that again because I can't believe my fucking ears. 1 second.
So she would have just left him for a little... If she just would have never went out there, she would have just left him for a while, he wouldn't be here. So that makes me wonder, did she... No, I don't think that.
No, you
or
just
maybe
don't think.
She thought that he was dead. Maybe her reaction, some people say, oh my God, but no. Maybe someone was saying, yeah, I know that a lot of people are in the side chat saying that her reaction was, oh my God, he's alive, in a bad way. She could have been responding with, oh my God, he's alive, thank God. But she also didn't say, thank God. She also didn't say, hurry. She didn't act the way what we would consider to be a normal reaction.
She said he was out there for 20 minutes too.
How does she know?
Well, and who the fuck are you and this dickhead who's on panel with you to determine what is a normal reaction in a situation like that? Exactly what makes you and dipshit here qualified to determine what is a normal reaction to finding your spouse hanging from a shed? Just curious.
Well, I mean, I guess meaning the time, I guess he went outside.
Right. Oh, because he got out of bed.
Which is
up, blah, blah, blah. Had a fight 20 minutes.
32 minutes.
just watching these idiots brainstorm is fascinating.
I guess we're all different. I guess some, you know how they say, oh, well, all people, we all grieve differently. Justin worked in a morgue. He worked.
This is like watching slugs fuck on the fucking Discovery Channel. That's what, that's exactly what this reminds me of. Just completely just like, what in the fuck am I looking at? But I can't stop looking at it. It's just, yeah, this is fucking slug porn.
Worked in a funeral parlor. He'll tell you. He'll say, I've seen all types of reactions to people jumping on a casket, causing a huge scene, to people being cold as ice. Or even starting fist fights, I'm sure.
Okay.
Correct?
So right now, you're contradicting yourself, because now you're actually straight up saying that everybody reacts differently, that somebody qualified, somebody that you're claiming to be qualified has said, I've seen all kinds of different reactions to tragedy. So why are you judging this woman? If you're acknowledging that and you're the one pointing this fact out, why are you judging this woman? Makes no sense.
Oh, so you've seen that, right? You've seen every behavior.
I've seen everything from gangs, funerals, and clubs and stuff like that, like bikers and all that, to 95-year-old women burying their husband.
Well, I mean, the reactions in the rooms, in the salons, in the, what do you call them? In funeral parlors, what do you call each room?
Funeral parlor.
We just call them chat. Well, we call them like chapel 2, chapel 3.
Okay, so you call them chapel rooms. All right. Okay, so if I was thinking like maybe a salon or something, but people's reaction.
I gotta wonder, because that's the only person that I've ever known that actually, because apparently he used to be a mortician or worked in a morgue. Does being a fucking corpse like rub off on you? Like after working there for so long, is that what happens? Do you like all of a sudden, like after, or not all of a sudden, but after years and years of working with dead bodies, does just being a fucking corpse like rub off on you, and just like you just carry the symptoms of being a fucking boring, fucking lifeless, just brain dead idiot? My name's Justin, and I can't complete a fucking thought, and I'm gonna dox victims and call myself a victim's advocate. Hold on, let me read the chat. He really works at a morgue, and he definitely stole their makeup tips. I feel bad because I just took the piss out of that fucking joke. Like, that was actually hilarious. Karma Camille said he definitely stole their makeup tips. He does, dude. Look at him, bro. Like, you ever see like, I remember I was watching this movie. There's this really good movie called I can't even remember what it's called, but like back in the day when they like when like back in the old West, when somebody got killed, they would take a picture of their corpse, and like they would put a bunch of fucking makeup on them, and like really, like it was clearly obvious that they had like a shit ton of makeup on. This guy looks like a fucking made up fucking corpse. It's so fucked up. Oh my God, I should be in detention, dude. I'm going to hell for sure, bro. Like this. The fucking dude looks like a corpse ready to show. Oh my God. Somebody fucking stop me, bro. This is too much.
To death. I'm sure I miss him so much. Right? Blah, 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 blah. But then you get the and then probably someone screaming in the back, it's because of you. Have you ever heard any of that?
Oh, I've
Fuck does that have to do with anything that they're
Really?
with this?
It's your fault.
The fuck does that have to do with anything?
If it wasn't
Let's just say the cops come to a funeral home more than they should.
I mean, if it wasn't so frowned upon, I'm sure that funeral homes would probably have the best reality show entertainment ever, but it would be in poor taste. Yeah. I mean, who's going to consent to that? And how are we going to fake? How are we really going to fake that? You know? How are we going to stage that?
You know, there's Dr. G, medical examiner. Remember her?
No.
You don't remember Dr. G, medical examiner?
No.
She was, it was huge on, I think,
I probably do and don't remember.
And she did autopsies on television.
Sexy.
And there was a funeral home reality show.
Really?
Yeah, it was early to mid 2000s.
I wonder why it didn't last.
Parlor. Yes, Alabama mom. Okay. So listen, I guess
I wonder why that never took. A funeral reality show.
She did Casey Anthony's case, yes. Remember 6 Feet Under? Yeah, I remember 6 Feet Under. But that wasn't reality.
It was scripted TV.
That was HBO.
How about we kind of sum this up? I'll give you
Where are they
all
going
of that
with this?
information. You do what you want with it. I'm going to move on. All I'm going to say is I have left Dre McCray in God's hands. And that's where we all end up.
Yeah, you said that over an hour ago.
I do believe that the truth eventually, I think more will
passed
come
more
out.
judgment on her.
More will play out down the road.
No,
the
it won't.
supposed update on Marvon McCray is that he's still in the place that Miss Letitia saw him in. Okay. She had to hire an attorney, and her attorney had to reach out and make a deal with Dre's attorney.
And there's nothing in that report about an attorney.
Miss Letitia, her husband, and Miss
Nothing.
Letitia's son, which is Marvon's brother, when they drove. Who remembers when Miss Letitia put the pedal to the metal, 2 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. She came up here and we had given her that money. And she said, you know what? We got the funds. We're getting in the car right now. She didn't stop. She drove through Texas without stopping. I don't know one person, not even truck drivers, that could drive across Texas without stopping.
What are you talking about? They do it all the time.
Okay. 2 o'clock in the morning.
The fuck are you talking about?
And don't ever say that
I know
she
people
didn't go
who
out
have,
there.
dude, I know,
baby, I'm holding on to it.
I know people that have driven from fucking New York to Miami and Miami to New York nonstop. What are you talking about? I mean, obviously to get gas, but not to shack up for the night, you know? What the fuck are you talking about? Of course truck drivers do that. Truck drivers have a quota. They're on a time constraint. They have to manage their time. You don't think that dictates for them to have to drive straight through sometimes without stopping? That's their job. The fuck are you talking about?
to a video right now, and so does Justin. I'm sure you still have it on your phone, right? If you look on your iPhone, you'll see the place of where it was taken and the day and what time. It's Miss Letitia and it's Marvin. And guess what? Marvin moves his head and looks right at Miss Letitia.
Just be careful.
The complete opposite. The complete opposite than what Dre was like.
I
oh
thought,
my God, my baby.
I thought you were leaving this in God's hands. Yo, guys, people, listen, get your screenshots, yo. My pause game is on point. Get your screenshots. Get them in right now. Do it. Do it. Do it.
She's why you turn your head away from my people were saying she's a liar. No way did Dre did he turn his head. She must have moved it. No, she didn't lie. He really moved it away. But towards Miss Letitia, he went towards her.
So
and in the video, you could tell she was like surprised. And she leaned down, I think, 4 times more to kiss him. And she leans down. She's in light blue.
Dude, look at this guy,
like a
bro.
Scrub thing, but very like a disposable scrub. She's got a mask on.
This guy is the most. This guy's the most useless motherfucker I've ever seen, bro. Like, he's not even a good yes man. Like, he's even fucking useless in that capacity.
She kisses him 4 more times.
Yeah, that was the day she said, take a screenshot or a selfie or something like that.
She did something, and Miss Letitia got so upset with people saying that she never went out there to see him, that everything was a lie that she was doing. She was so upset that she said, Marissa, Justin, take this video and show everybody. And Justin came on right before I showed it and goes, shut it down. It's not going to happen.
No,
girl.
That's a very intimate moment, and we don't have to prove it to anybody.
We're not going to do that to Marvin.
No,
we're not going to do that to Marvin. But just you can
trust me. She put him enough.
Just exploit him in every other possible fucking way.
While
and
he was
accuse
having
his
a
wife
seizure,
of attempted murder,
while he was fighting depression, being stuck in the 4 walls,
we won't stand for.
Cleaning, cooking, putting up with everything, and after he did this allegedly to himself in the hospital.
Yeah, Dre didn't look like she had a bead of sweat on her after doing CPR. Her robe was she looked like Blanche from the Golden Girls.
Not to mention,
look, Miss Letitia's still here.
Not to mention one of the hottest climates in America.
Justin, why don't you give her a call? Give her a call and see if she wants to say anything.
Oh my God.
I'm sure she wants to say something. She's not really good at taking links or anything, but just see if she wants to say anything about, because she probably wants to say something about all of this.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute first.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, she'll pick up.
Like, why would you put this lady on the spot like that?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, no warning. Hey, you're live. You're gonna be live.
Just see if there's anything she wants to say.
Oh my God, dude.
At least give these people a chance. I'll text Warnett. I'll see Warnett.
God, these people are fucking terrible, bro. All right, that's enough of this bullshit.
Miss Warnett is
okay. Yeah. Absolutely no evidence whatsoever. Obviously, this was just, damage control. We saw the deleted streams, and here she is. She can't resist. trying to save face. So we're looking at somebody who deletes the streams and yet still tries to defend her actions of why of which she deleted the streams for. Late Night Memories, thank you so much. This dude reminds me of my time working at Sephora, and what hell it was. Thanks for all you do. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it. I can imagine working at Sephora and how much that would fucking suck. That would be terrible. Jesus Christ. I can only imagine the kind of clientele you had to deal with. That's rough. Yeah, this is classic. This is just typical MGL. And this is just another thing that's just going to get swept under the rug. After this, nothing's going to happen. And guess what? You think that she's going to continue to fight for this Letitia person? She called Letitia hoping to get validation for her own shit. That's what they tried to do. Do you think that after they've found no criminal behavior, nothing to charge Drea with, this situation is done? You think that she's going to continue to fight for Letitia? No. She's already chewed her up and spit her out. She's used her for everything that she's worth. Now, these people, not only do they have their own family problems, but now their own family problems are very public and out there. And now these people are going to have to pick up the pieces on their own and try to cope and move forward. Because it's not going to benefit MGL at all anymore in dealing with these people on any capacity, on any level at all whatsoever. So, anyways, guys, I'm glad you joined me. Big shout out and thanks to Down the Rabbit Hole News for joining me earlier on the stream, and also for providing me with that report. It's very kind of you. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all you guys showing support. I love all you guys being here, and I love hanging out with you guys. I had a blast as usual. Yeah, I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.